serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it that mind quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these hands tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me. Lady, get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. How we doing? We doing, everybody? I see a few folks already down in the chat room. Hey, Shar. Hey, Black Hawk. Hey, Vonda. How you folks doing? For you folks that's hanging out in the clouds, y'all know what it is already. Get your life. Get your life. Get your life. I'm just going to go on and start by saying this. Some of the things that I'm going to say might offend some folks tonight. Some of these folks that I'm going to talk about consider themselves in my circle. But as I tell people all the time, if I'm coming into your chat, I'm coming there for one or two reasons. Either because I like your content or I dislike your content. There's enough been said about a certain couple content creators that... it has no here nor there with me. I'm referring to Sharon Bracey. I listened to his content. I had my disagreements about a particular stream that they did. Ended it there. But to me, folks, it seems to me, some people just don't know how to let the sleeping dog lie. They go from argument to argument to argument, to bitch section to bitch section to bitch section, about what someone is doing wrong and how they feel they should, dare I say, straighten them out. Comes a point in time, and I'm going to start calling names in a little while. Comes a point in time where you just going to have to say, as I told you, Big J, there comes a point in time you just know you're in a situation that you can't win. Now, as I told you, I found your channel through a mutual acquaintance of ours because we were on the same, I won't say wavelength, but we were talking about the same ideas about what was going on in the manosphere and how they were disrespecting and disparaging black people, especially black women. So we kind of had a little a bond there, Big J. You know, I won't necessarily call it a bond, but we had a common enemy. But the more and more I watch you, Big J, the more the more that I see sometimes, even though you have a common enemy, sometimes you have to separate yourself from other folks in order to get something done. So I sat back and I've watched you for the last couple of months. A couple of weeks ago, I came up on your panel early in the morning, Big J, and I had a conversation with you. It seemed to just go in one ear and out the other. Where's all this going? You might say. Well, the other day, as I said, I watched the morning wake up show with Sharon Bracey and the crew, PH Diva, and a few of the others over there. Actually it's quite entertaining. If you ain't got nothing to do, folks, and if you're hanging around, if you're in the YouTube streets, whether you agree or disagree with what's going on over there, it is quite entertaining. I'll say that for myself. I support the channel. I throw them likes up. I throw a little cash over there. Do whatever it is. It's not just so much that I'm supporting Sharon. I'm supporting everybody that's over there. How he divvies up the cash apps and super chats and all that. That ain't my business. I'm not pocket watching like that. But anyway, so yesterday I stopped in there for a little while. And I heard Gabe A talking to Sharon about saying that basically that his panel was a shit show. Well, my question to you, Gabe A, if it's a shit show, why are you over there? If it bothers you that much of what's going on in that particular panel, YouTube is full of shit that you can go. You say that you're an educated guy. There's no tech panels that you could go to. But anyway, getting back to your Big J. So when I came up on, I didn't know what I missed. So when I went back to start listening, I don't know the particular person quite well. I know of her, but I've had a conversation. Mainly the reason why I was interested in, as I call this, the Prism effect. As you all folks know, I'm in radio, and I pay attention to voices. And whether you agree with Prism's, what she talks about, has no here, no there with me. I was paying attention to her because of the way she speaks, and of course, the way she speaks, meaning that I'd like her to do some, as they call them, sweepers for the radio station. There's been several other folks. We're all talk culture, and I've asked a few other folks to do some radio sweeps for me, so it's not unusual. So that's how we got in contact. For those of you who want context, all right, because I'm sure somebody will ask, well, how did you get involved with Prism? I got a business to run, man. Right? Okay, so that's how I got involved with Prism and a few of the other folks. I go to these panels for a couple of reasons. One is a business, listening to voices. And the other is to sometimes run with the fuckery. So yesterday was all about the fuckery. Fuckery Friday is what Sharon called it. Big J, you was a big part of the fuckery. And also, another big part of the fuckery, as I want to call it, was the center of attraction, was the one and only Prism. See, I don't like, they standing on business. Sorry, they stand on business. I don't like to just assume anything. So I heard a lot of things tossed around. So what I did is I went to the source. I went to the source of the center of the controversy, Big J. May the Alchemist, or whatever name you're going by right now. That's how I knew you, so I'm going to speak that way. And a few of the others over there. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you, the guest of honor tonight there, the Real Prism. You step on in here, please.
Hey, Mr. DJ Music.
How you doing? How you doing?
I am absolutely wonderful. How about you?
Listen, I'm doing fine. Listen, I like to clear the air first, so to make sure everybody knows that. Have you not done radio sweepers for me?
I have done radio sweepers for
Right.
you.
And was that the original reason why I contacted you?
That is the original reason why we contacted you.
Okay, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm just jumping on the bandwagon. Okay, all right. So you just happen to be in a place that I was watching at this time, and two of the figures that are involved in this are two people that I know. One being you, and the other being Big J. Now, I don't want to. I'm stealing this from Dr. Richie. I don't want to guess what you know, but I don't know if you've listened to my content before. So would you say when it comes to the loose nigga roundups, I'm pretty fair about them?
I think you're very fair. I've been listening to you for a while. Yes.
Right. I do. And another thing, I don't, even though there's opportunity for me to do a loose nigga roundup starring a woman, I don't do them.
I've never seen you or heard you do anything about women. No.
Right. So that brings me to Big J. Now, there's certain things, brother, that I can stomach, and sometimes it's time to get out the car. So yesterday is when I had to get out the car with you, because the amount of vitriol that you were spitting over there, and the amount of credit that you tried to take was something that I already thought about. As I told you before, Big J, you cannot take on the manosphere by yourself. You've been at this 10 years, and no one takes you seriously when it comes to what you're going to do and what you can do. Number one, because you haven't produced anything. No disrespect, but what channels have you taken down? What part of the manosphere has been torn apart based on what I've seen? And I'm not talking about what somebody else is going to give you credit for, or you got honorable mention somewhere. But just as me, when I'm doing my streams, I said, as much as I would like to get rid of these channels, I don't have the resources for it. So all I can do is report on them, and y'all make your own decisions from there. Would that be fair, Prism?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Right. So yesterday, when I saw you over on Sharon's channel, you were hotter than a stolen 38.
I was a little heated.
Okay, you kicked in the door based on something that Big J said to PhD. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, before we get to the video, because I did record, I recorded 2 sessions of it, so we're just going to cover one of them right now. When you came up on the panel to talk to a PhD, if you don't mind, I won't say defend PhD, but you seemed to me that you were defending all women. Did you expect the pushback that you got?
Well, let me say this. When I initially came in, I came in a little softer, and I said, hey, can I say something? Hey, can I say something? And when he continued screaming and yelling at PhD, but I decided to get loud like him. So I had to come in the same way BJ comes into every conversation, just like him. Right, that's the way he hears.
Right. So now the reason why I asked that is because that's one thing I told Big J before, and Big J when a little bit later on. Of course, I'll drop the link, but right now I'm going to talk to Prism here. And then if you want to come in a little bit later, I felt it necessary because Prism, I consider myself a protector of women, whether I know you or not, right?
Do I consider myself a protector of women?
I do. I say I consider myself a protector of women, whether I know you or not. When I see,
I would think that there's some men that are just like that. Yes.
Right. That's just they say some men are just hardwired. Not only have I stepped in and I'm going to step in here. I've stepped in before on Bomb Cherry's channel and a few of the other ladies, and I don't mind mentioning a few names. Mahogany, Roots, MJ. I've warned her about some of the panels that I've seen her on. Raw B, I've warned her about some of the loose niggas that's been around her for a while, and a few of the others that I have mentioned. Right.
Right. Well, Raw B I've seen Bomb Cherry and Raw B and Mahogany, and I can tell you, there are women that can hold their own as well.
I don't want no parts of them. I'm going to say that right now. I don't want no parts of none of them ladies that I mentioned. I'm going to stay on the good side of y'all ladies. But it seems to me, Big J, you can't. You can't. You don't know when to draw the line. You don't. You say you're a protector of black women, but as I say, Big J, you know me, and you've listened to me before. I do my research. 98% of the arguments that you have online, brother, is with a woman. It's no different from what I call out the angry man about. The difference between you and angry man is, and not being disrespectful, you both have the same vitriol. The only difference is your voices or one's louder. You're a little bit louder than the angry man. So Prism, the reason why I wanted to bring you up here, because I think there's a few things that need to clear the air. I've been around for a long time, been in the clouds a lot. So a lot of the stuff that I heard yesterday, I can tell you just from my experience and just from the people that have been around, a lot of that's not true. Okay. First and foremost, I heard the term, I want to cover something first. I heard the term divester thrown around a lot over there yesterday. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, I'll say this off the bat. It makes no difference to me, black, white, green, or whoever you sleep with, or whoever you decide to engage your activities with outside of YouTube. That ain't my business. Mm-hmm. So my first question to you, why do you think that every time I hear somebody speaking of you, that is what they throw at you, that you're a divester?
So when I came into the space, I came in through a Mary Brown's channel. And Alex Brannon is a content creator who kind of delves in the space of women who are swirlers and divestors. Mm-hmm. Alex heard me talking on a Mary Brown's channel, and he asked me to come over to his channel and speak to some of the women on his channel, do some content on femicide, and different things that are affecting women inside the space and outside of the space. Right. That space is predominantly, a lot of women in that space are BWE, divestors, or swirler women. Those are the women that when I came into the space, those are the women who welcomed me the most, that opened their arms to me, and basically were willing to have a conversation about the kind of information that I wanted to gather concerning like what was going on within this space concerning the hate speech of Black women.
Right. So on that level and that aspect, how you explained it right there now, what is the difference between is there a difference? Because normally I hear one and the two being spoken during this particular stream. So what is the difference between divester and BWE?
So from what I've learned, basically from just over the last few years, there's been multiple definitions of what divested women do, as well as BWE. When I first initially came in, I had no clue that there were all of these segments of women that, divested, or BWE, or swirlers, or, then they had all the, little terms, pick-me's, mammies, all these different things were going around. So I had to start thinking, okay, which women belong where? And which ones do I want to talk to and which ones do I not want to talk to? So divested women, I've gotten two different definitions by talking to women. It's either they're the women who refuse, they don't want anything to do with the Black culture at all because it's toxic. They just want to divorce the culture and move on with their lives. The other part of it is Black women who prefer not to date any man except for men of other races. They don't want to date any Black men. They just want to date men of other races. Then you have the other women who are kind of like, it has nothing to do with men at all. It's about Black women saving themselves and preserving themselves and divesting away from all, again, the toxicity that comes with the women and men of Black culture. Right.
So again, part of the reason why I asked you that is because I kept hearing it being slung around that you have a disdain for Black men, but I'm sure anyone can tell by the sound of my voice, and as I spoke before, put me in 8 o'clock in the morning together, you get midnight. I'm a Black man. So can we dispel that rumor?
Oh, absolutely. So let me say this. I came in through a Mary Brown. Mary is a black man. They think that because I've had conversations with everybody that is BWE, divestors, swirlers, whatever. I've had conversations with Manosphere, Passport Bros. I've had conversations with pretty much everybody.
Mhm.
So they think that because the people that I initially came into this space with, and I still feel okay talking to those women or going on different conversations with them, but it's never really been about anything about black men. It's always been around black women. And so am I a divester? So no, I'm not. But, and I'm going to say this, but what I am is somebody who is trying to understand what's going on within this space with everybody.
That's to be quite honest with you. When you mentioned Mary Brown, he just ran for political office. Again, he didn't win, folks. But Mary, keep your head up there, brother. If you know what you told
I'm
me
really proud
on
of
your
Amiri.
platform, right? Do what you do, and you'll have my full support. I got some folks down there in your area that I told them to rally behind you. So big ups to you on that. But again. So when you walked into the joint,
Mm-hmm.
right? You came into the joint because Big J said something about women not being basically from this is how I heard it, and we'll translate it. But basically, women were at fault, especially black women were at fault for not uh, being more mindful of what happens to them. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, basically, what I heard was Big J say that black women, they could have taken down the manosphere 10 years ago had they gotten together and decided to get it done. So then he went on to say that other races of women would have got it done. But we have a whole Rolo Tomasi, Donovan Sharp, and all of these other red pill men that are still on this space, and white women aren't. They haven't taken them down. So I don't know what Big J is talking about.
Right, right, and that seemed to be the theme of you and PhD with that. Now, again, I called Big J, and anyone can attest to that. I've said, Big J, you're one of the crime fighters on the street. We can't. Unfortunately, we don't have the power to get rid of these channels as we would like to, but we can draw light to them. But there's a way to do everything. You can go in and do your stream without all the screaming and yelling. But it seems to me again, and you might be in the cloud, Big J, or you might come in a little bit later on. But it seems to me your method of how you do things seems to follow you throughout your YouTube experience. And this is not a one-on incident where Big J just came on the panel and started screaming at women. I've heard you screaming at Sexy Red. I've heard you screaming at Bomb Cherry. I've heard you screaming at I think this lady's name, correct me if I'm wrong, Femi from the block.
Femi from the chat.
Yeah, I've heard you. Femi from the chat. I've heard you screaming at her, and each time I've heard you on these panels yelling, I've always, dare I say, come to your defense and say, "Hey, Big J, taper down a little bit, man. You can get your point across. I think you're an intelligent fella, but no one's going to take you serious with all that screaming and yelling." Come to find out yesterday, this is what I ran into. So why don't we go from here? Let me take down my sign there. And like I said, Prism, I didn't hear this part of it, but when I went back to listen to it, dare I say, I was shocked, Big J. Not only was I shocked, and I'll be quite honest with you, I was kind of disappointed. Quite disappointed. Yeah. Be careful who you align yourself with, folks. And that's on both sides, good and bad. Be very careful of who you align yourself with.
Part of that is the female nature versus male nature thing. And here's just what I'm saying, right? And I might sound red pill when I'm about to say this, right?
Mhm.
So women are so used to getting rescued, or no, wrong word. Women are expected to be rescued all the time, that they just that they're not really in tune to the threat, the possibility of danger, because they always been shielded from these potential dangers.
Oh, please let me answer this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Now, before I get your comment on that, Prism, Big J, I have to ask you, and I think this is a fair question. What dangers have black women been shielded from? What hell that we as black men have endured that black women have been shielded from? That would be a fair question. And to say that when you say something that you know that's going to be controversial by saying, well, I shouldn't have said it this way, or let me start off by saying this, it's obvious that you know it's going to be a, dare I say, fucked up opinion. Now, if I had never heard you before in my life, Big J, if I was just finding out the manosphere, I would swear that you were a part of the manosphere with that statement alone. So you were in the clouds then, Prism. So this is the part that you decided to say, let me see what's next, or let me hit the link. Go ahead. Prism?
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay,
So,
I said, yeah,
I'm
this was
right.
Go ahead.
This is before I came up on the panel when I'm listening to Big J. And to me, let me tell you what it sounds like.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Big J wants to be red pill, or if because I've heard him make that statement a few times that he might sound red pill. And it almost seems like Big J wants to be red pill, but they won't accept him. And I've heard a couple people say that as well. So I'm not really sure where Big J is coming from a lot of times. I've had my initial run-in with Big J was on the Amiri Brown channel, and I didn't like how he was speaking to Amiri Brown on that channel as well. So I had a lot of animosity toward Big J early on.
Right, and in fairness, I've heard that before. That Bomb Cherry said it. A few of the other females have said it. That the only reason why Big J is not really active in the red pill community because he's not accepted over there.
I don't think Big J is really accepted in very many places. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know, Zihara. Is Big J afraid of Angry Man? I don't know. Is he? It's you'll have to ask Big J that. Big J, if you're in the clouds, there's some questions down here that folks want to answer. If you want to come and defend yourself, just let me know. Well, let's continue.
Big J.
Yes.
Now let's have a conversation. So you're asking if women are able to pick up on threats because we're so used to being shielded from threats, right? That's
No.
the question?
What I'm saying, they're not seeing.
So they're not able to.
They're not
We're
able
not able
to
to see the threats because we're used to being shielded from threats. Is that
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And now are
Right,
we
that's what I'm
talking
saying.
about black women? Because now what threats would black women have ever
Black
been
women,
shielded
white
from?
women are women.
Hold on. Okay.
No,
So
women
now
are
let me
not
tell
women.
you a little something about the history of black women, and then you tell me if we ever been fucking shielded.
What about that? Hey, Zahara, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Blackout. Hey, Prism, what do you think about that? Are all women the same?
No, I don't think all women are the same.
No, not to no disparaging the palm-colored females, but you think that the palm-colored females have seen the same American experience that black women have?
When it comes to if you're talking about as far as maybe in domestic violence, they probably have similar experiences. They have experiences in divorce. I think that probably there might be more commonalities between us as women. However, I think because who Black women are,
Hmm.
we probably have it doubly different because of who we are in America. Black women have, even though I think Black women are very supportive of America, I think Black women are treated less than human in America in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw what Congressman Jasmine Crockett. She has been trending with the statement that she said. Do you feel that a lot of some of the rhetoric that they say about Black women, especially using the word oppression now, do you think she was spot on with that? I'm not sure if you heard that or not, but
I
basically,
have
was
Jasmine Crockett. People send me little clips and snips of things that she said, and of course, she's always viral on TikTok. So I would have to agree with her that Black women are probably doubly oppressed because number one, we're women, and the of course we're Black. So yes.
yes, okay. So now, in interest of fairness, you can hold your own. There was no need for anyone to, as they say, they called us men like me simps. They come in with the cape and save you. So I'm going to let this play out for a minute, okay?
Okay, thank you.
From some goddamn threats. What the hell have y'all ever been able to shield us from?
You like to racialize it. I'm looking at it from
we are Black women, and our experience is different than them other women. Are you fucking kidding me? When we have been specifically victimized, which area of life you want to go to? You want to go to the medical aspect?
I'm fully aware of that. I'm fully aware of that.
So you niggas have never been able to shield us from shit. So how the fuck would we ever?
I'm talking about overarching issue. I'm talking about overall issue. No, you want to make it interracial issue because
18. And so when were we ever?
Hold on. Now that's that you just put out has been debunked 5 years ago. That's that has been debunked 5 years ago. And I can prove why. Because the thing is
we can go to education where Black girls
because the thing is
adultified, right?
And hold on. Don't run from the first thing. Stay where I'm at on that whole we all have been that all women have been touched before the age of 18.
Tell me how we would have been shielded when we've been attached to y'all.
You know exactly what I mean by that.
Okay, Big J.
No.
Have you ever talked to?
Okay, before Sonic goes, no, that's the problem, Big J. No one knew what you meant by that, and that's why you're receiving all this vitriol, because that sounds like a manosphere talking point. You blurted out something, you tried to clean it up, and now these women, as rightfully they should be, are on your ass about what you said. There's no cleaning up for that. Is that how you saw it, Prism? There was no cleanup for that? I think you're on mute again there, Prism.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I did. I think that because I've heard Big J in different conversations, I think Big J, I'm going to hold back on this one right now. But yeah, I did. I heard it the same way, that Big J gives excuses to women of other races.
And is that, I've heard this before. So Big J, this is what she just said, and what I'm saying, it's not nothing that you haven't heard other people say. Simply because I remember on Bomb Cherry's chat a couple weeks ago, right after the election, young lady came on there by the name of Pure Butterfly Spirit, right? And she came on. They were talking about how she can't believe how the election turned out. And I told her, and PhD was on Bomb Cherry's panel, you're over here preaching to the choir. You need to talk to the people that look like you. So I assumed that she was a white lady. And when I asked her, was she a white female, she didn't answer. So my question, that's always been a question to me. Why don't you identify with that race of people? Because I think she knew what was coming next. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead with the statement.
But Big J, that was another opportunity for you. Again, you say you have these important people on your channel, but this was a boots on the ground female that you could have had on your channel to explain to other white folks this thing about why they voted for Trump. But what happened? You got mad with Bomb Cherry. You got mad with PhD. And then you came back and you did a live about it. Go ahead, Prism.
Yeah, I think that Big J, let me say this. I know from secondhand information that Big J knows that this type of controversy brings views to his channel. He gets those watch hours, and it's all about money. He does not care one thing about what's going on with the manosphere or anything. Big J has been doing this for 10 years. And I kept hearing somebody who was an enemy of mine kept saying that Big J has been in this space for 10 years. And he hasn't really done anything but get on panels every morning, every evening, every night. He's always yelling. And that's the first thing I heard when people started talking to me about Big J. So I think Big J does not really have his finger on really what's really going on with Black people at all. I really don't think he does. I think he feels like he's above everybody else, that he's not able to get down in the mud and the paint with everybody to try to figure out solutions around what's going on with Black women and Black men.
Well, I wish I could say I could pick 100 this, but I have to agree with you with a lot of what you just said, because it's not anything that I haven't said to Big J before. It's not something, and to be candid about it, I said, Big J, seems to me you're worried about how many subscribers folks got, but I hear you speak on that a lot, to your subscriber count, or you got demonetized for this or that reason or whatever. But if this is why you're in the game, then you shouldn't be in it for. If you're in for the super chats, you're no different from the folks that you're trying to get rid of. Because it's not that it's Big J. It's not that I haven't heard you say it. Just the other day, just in your couple of streams ago, you were saying you lost money because you got demonetized. Well, why did you get demonetized? When you lay down with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. Mm-hmm. Anything before we continue here, Prism?
Yeah, because if we go on about why Big J got demonetized. Big J got demonetized by the same people that he claims is his allies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree, because I know that to be fact. The very same people that you thought were in cahoots with you, Big J, those are the people that did you in. Mm-hmm. Now that there's no debate there. Even you said that.
No, there's no debate about it. There's no doubt about it. That I know that they are the ones that had something to do with it. There's no doubt about it.
Right. Absolutely. Let's continue here.
Any of the women in your family, and see how many? Because I was surprised of the majority of the women my family has been.
Right.
But they never have been. See, now though I'm about to turn up. Now do I have to get? Because the thing is,
you better keep it cute.
If you hold on. If you women, this is the reason why I'm gonna say this right now. That's the reason why I don't take Black women seriously. You know what? No. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I don't take y'all seriously. Because if the manosphere is such a fucking threat, you women would have got these niggas up and out of here a long time ago. But those white women,
What you think about that? Isn't that just the opposite of what someone would say? Again, Big J, here we go. We tell the black women that we are in charge of our communities, that we are the protectors. But in that statement alone, I just heard you place the responsibility of protection squarely in the lap of black women. Am I wrong, Prism?
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Big J is a passing the buck J. That's what he is. He's a passing the buck J. That's what he is. That's all he does. No accountability, no responsibility, no leadership. That's what he does all the time. Right.
Like I said, Big J, I call it down the middle. And that's a conversation he had, just like the fuckery between what BGS has said, an angry man, Obsidian, all of those folks that I just mentioned. Those were common enemies for us because the disrespect level that they showed our women. I don't know Prism. I didn't know. Hey, Bridget. I don't know Bridget. I don't know Char Willie on a level like that, although I've been around her for years. Mm-hmm. But one thing I'll know for sure is if I'm on the panel and if I see one of these so-called Rim brothers or one of these manosphere men completely disrespecting a woman just because they can, I'm coming in to kick the door and not dare anybody to say that I wouldn't, because I have. Mm-hmm. So, Big J, I'm kicking the door in on you today, brother. And here's why. Let's continue.
Because I'll set the tone. Y'all have the ability
I'm up here. Fuck that.
get these niggas off the YouTube.
Shut your ass up.
Y'all could have got these niggas off YouTube a long time ago. Y'all kept playing with these niggas. Y'all want to get on these niggas' panels. Y'all want to kiss the ass? And Diva, you got no room to talk. Diva, you had no room to talk because you're playing around with Jay Prince.
Okay,
don't talk to me. You're playing around with Jay Prince.
And
Diva.
I play around with Jay.
No, Diva. I don't want to hear it.
No,
I don't want to hear it.
He meant
I don't want to hear it because you kept playing around with that nigga.
He mentioned Jay Prince, and of course I've done a loose nigga roundup on that. I'm probably going to end up doing another one because he is. To give you folks a little background, I was going to do a completely different one until I ran into this. Big J, I was going to do something completely different featuring the Angry Man and Jay Prince, but what I saw yesterday completely changed my mind. I got to talk to you. Here we go again. Like that song said, I was going to play it, but I didn't want to. I didn't want my thing to be blocked later on. But part of the DMX song that if I played, here we go. Same old shit, just another day, Big J. The same shit that you were doing last week, you're doing this week. The same shit that you were talking about, Sharon, and this panel ain't shit. You're up there every morning. That's like me and broccoli. I don't like it, so I don't go fucking buy it. So you can't be surprised that someone like me eventually was going to come at you. Because you represent them. You are more in their spaces. You are, and I hate to say it, but it's now guilt by association. Because someone told me their first impression of me that I was a troll. Could fuck around with niggas like you. And I don't like that. And no disrespect to the person that said it to me, but I understand why. But sometimes you got to get dirty to get clean. So Big J, I'm getting dirty with you today. You need to get clean, bro. This shit that you going around from panel to panel, it's damn near about to have a fucking heart attack. If I hear correctly, you out there in the stick somewhere, ain't you said? How long is it gonna take an ambulance to come that you boiling over every time somebody hear you? You're not like I said, the majority of the time that you're boiling over, that you're screaming and yelling. Big J, tell me if I'm wrong. I asked you this before. Do you go back and listen to yourself? You're screaming at a woman.
Well, there's one woman he acquiesced to.
Yeah.
And I heard that.
Yeah.
It was one young lady that came on that panel, and she had some issue with his co-host. And I think her name was Real Life Not in Cyberspace. And she read Big J the Riot Act. If anybody else in this space had said anything about his co-host, he would have been up octaves beyond what the decibel of sound would be. But when that young lady came and talked to him, he got quiet really quick because she was not playing with him. And you could hear it in her voice that she was ready to fire off all the barrels on him because he was out of line and she was not playing with him.
Right.
Not at all. And he absolutely kowtowed to that woman.
Right.
And I sat there and loved listening to it. I loved it for him because I was sick and tired of hearing about Big J and all the stuff that he does online. I'm sick of him. I really am. So, but there is one woman he did acquiesce himself to.
And see, here's this again, Big J. I think I just, Bridget, I'm not sure how long you've been on my channel, but I know it's not like you've been around me forever. So isn't it strange, Big J, that someone that's been to my channel maybe once or twice, isn't it strange that they have the same opinion that I do? He has a history of fighting with women on different panels. That's from somebody, I don't know if you know Bridget, but I'm not trying to throw her under the bus, but here's a prime example of what people in the cloud see of you. I tried to, like DMX said, I tried to show you the game, bro. I tried to say, hey, Big J, there's a different way to do this. If you're going to go after the enemy, from my military experience, there's a way to do things. You running there with guns blazing, like the excuse me, but it's like the old bull and the young bull sitting up on the hill. The young bull says, let's run down there and fuck one. The old bull says, let's walk down there and fuck all of them. Big J, you the young bull. Let's continue. But no, I tell you what, we're gonna switch out from that. Because Big J, too many people are talking about the loudness of your voice. So, as I said, I ran into I recorded 51 minutes of it, and I went back, Prism, and I listened to it later on, right? So I picked up where I left off at, and as I'm listening, I'm like, "What the fuck?" So, folks, this is part 2 of what I listened to or heard on Sharon Brace's show earlier.
E. Capone, both of these women sound miserable.
Damn.
Whatever.
The dating pool roast reactions. Why everybody know they can come to your channel and clown, Sharon?
God damn.
TBE trucking. These females are different. The dating pool roast reactions. This is old beef, Sharon, from the passport sector.
Because they did the same thing to her, Sharon.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there right there.
Okay.
Okay, I'll stop there right there. When she says it's old beef, of course, like I said, I do my research, so I asked you some poignant questions, and she's absolutely right. So this has been going on for quite some time, Prism.
It has. It's been going on for some time. It has. So basically.
Go ahead. No, go right ahead. Explain.
I'm going to give a very short story. So yes. I am, like I said, I came in through a Mary Brown. And when I was expanding to try to figure out what was going on, one of the channels that I kind of viewed every once in a while would be something called the Kevin Samuels Roast Network. There was a
Mhm.
lot of Black women over there, and the content creator, and I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to give him no shine, because officially he is DOA when it came to me. So that game is over. So I'm not going to,
Right.
he doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And so he had all these Black women, 6,000 Black women subscribed to the Kevin Samuels Roast Network. Okay. And when this person saw the Passport Bros start taking off and start seeing more content, because he's a grifter, he did the same thing. He built money on bashing Kevin Samuels, so he used Black women to gain money on that channel to start building his channel. So he started seeing the Passport Bros taking off. So once he saw the Passport Bros taking off, he said that he was going to change that content, and he was going to remove all the Kevin Samuels content, and he created a Passport Bros channel.
Mhm.
After that, I left and I moved on, went back on to Mary Brown and talking to other people in other spaces.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, I would peek in and see that he had some live show going on, and I saw numerous females up there. It was none of the women that are currently his followers. Okay.
Okay.
It was other women who were there who quickly became part of another channel, which I still support and still like the content creator, the person who is the owner of that channel. Okay. So that person decided that during this time, there was one young lady who became curious and said, hey, the whole channel, the premise of that channel was to go after these Passport Bros. Okay.
Mhm.
The whole premise was to torment and go around in different spaces, infiltrate their discords, and get information on all of these different Passport Bros so they could come to the channel and expose these Passport Bros for what they were doing overseas.
Okay.
Right. This
So
person,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
This
right ahead. Go ahead.
This young lady decided to interview one of the Passport Bros, who at that time I didn't really know who he was.
Mhm.
After there was a threat made to her by that channel owner that said, if you go over and interview this person, I'm going to do such and such and so on to you.
Right.
She went ahead and interviewed that person, and World War III broke out within that space. I
Yeah.
had no clue what was going on. And I went over there one day and I saw him doing all of this content about this young woman and this man. And I didn't understand what had happened or anything. I sent him an email and said, hey, what's going on? Everybody who is somebody who knows me has seen that email now. There was this illusion that I was starting all this trouble, but that's not what was happening. Behind the scenes, these people were sending emails saying that if I see you over there on that channel, we're going to get you. I'm going to attack you. The idea from those people on that channel, after all the women saw how he began to treat this one woman, calling out her name, saying a bunch of obscenities about her, defamatory statements about her, all the women left to this particular content creator's channel. Okay. From there, he began to send emails saying, hey, if I see you over there, you need to take the women and leave that person's channel, start your own channel. If y'all want to trauma bond, go over to that channel and trauma bond with each other. Well, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to stay right there where that person was with his channel and with those other women. When those other women begin to see that every time they turn around, those women that were left over there, he was calling everybody B's and H's and all this obscenities. Those women who liked that type of abuse stayed over there. The ones who were not going to tolerate the abuse, they went elsewhere. Then it became some sort of attack on that man's channel. Okay.
Right. So to get into this, so basically, because now I'm trying to break this down to the smallest. This whole feud started over an interview.
The whole feud started over an interview with one of the Passport Bros.
Wow.
Yes.
The whole thing, this whole from what I've seen now, because I said I do my research. From what I've seen now, the over 2.5, 3 year feud was over an interview because the person that's involved in this, and I of course I won't speak his name because I don't want to give him no shine. I'm quite disappointed at what I found out about this person. So I'm not going to give him the shine, but I'm privy to exactly what you're talking about because I was listening that day. I was listening to how he was disparaging this particular woman. I was listening to how he mentioned your name, and I was to be quite honest, I was kind of confused. I've never been on his panel before, but to hear the guy go from busting down Kevin Samuels to breaking the backs of black women, I was like, where did this come from? That's where I know. Right, that's where I knew him from. How he would put Kevin Samuels on blast. So the whole thing was a grift, in your opinion, Prism?
Absolutely. As time went on, I started having conversations with other people about this person. They said that he tried this before. He's tried this. He's tried that. It was manosphere men. It was passport bros. I started getting all kinds of information about this person. And I was like, wow, this person. And then, if it wasn't enough, it became this whole thing where it was one lie on top of the other. It was them spinning lies. It was them and adding another lie. And so let me say this. One of the women that's on the channel, we were talking about, there was a video that came out. I'm sure a lot of women remember it. There was a guy came out and there was a video that was somebody who was MGTOW or SYSBM, and he was talking about what he wanted to do to all black women in America.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, let me say this. There has been some questionable things that were said about who I am, what I'm not, who I'm linked to and who I'm not linked to concerning this particular woman.
Yes.
And she's one of the biggest liars. And I found out that not only is she a big liar, but all the women and all the 2 men that were on that channel and the 3 women that were on that channel, they are some of the biggest liars in this space.
Right. And interest and fairness, you mentioned those folks' names on Sharon's panel.
I did.
Yeah, right. So again, I do my research, and so I went back and some of the names that you mentioned, I went back and I looked and I dug a little deeper than maybe that I should or shouldn't have. But I can't say you're wrong about the people that what you're speaking on. I don't know the guy in the chat room here, Corey Carpenter. Good seeing you. Welcome. But he came to bat for you as well yesterday. But again, Sharon gave him the opportunity to speak. And of course, when you go over the Sharon panel, most of the people tend to be long-winded. But his statement about Big J was to the point. So it goes back to the reason why you stepped in with PhD was to say that because Big J said that he got rid of the manosphere. He got rid of a particular channel holder by the name of Obsidian.
That's correct.
So get rolling to that point. Would you agree with Big J that he was the catalyst for Obsidian losing his channel?
So Big J is a liar. No, he was not a catalyst for anything that had anything to do with any manosphere channels being deleted. The person who had that channel removed took responsibility and accountability that she took the channel down.
Right.
And some of the
I'll shout her out. I think wasn't it Forever Lisa?
I think her name is For Harriet.
For Harriet, yeah, Forever Harriet, yes, Forever Harriet. And the reason why, folks, if you don't know, the reason why she got Obsidian's channel taken down is because Obsidian crossed the line.
So I don't follow either one of them. I didn't know anything about anybody's channel being taken down until someone sent me an email.
Right.
I don't follow Obsidian. I've had a conversation with Obsidian on Mary Brown's channel. It was not volatile. It wasn't rude. It was direct, straight to the point. He answered questions. I said what I had to say. He never disrespected me. And That was it. I've had the same conversation with BGS. Never, no disrespect at all. None.
Okay, so I'm glad that you mentioned that. Then we're gonna put that in there. But hold them two thoughts about what you mentioned, BGS and who else again?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Yeah. Okay. So hold that thought right there. Okay. We're gonna play some more of this, but hold that thought, and I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Okay.
Miss Queen, Heathen Queen went over there that same time to try to figure out what was going on. They treated her the same freaking way they treated me. So she know what's going on. She was over there and wasn't nobody working with May. May ran because Corey was going to get in her ass because Corey saw everything she was doing on Rumble to Marquise. He saw everything that she did to DDS. He saw everything that she did to all these people. Why is it every time you turn around, May's involved with all the passport bros. She get involved with all the manosphere men trying to act like she's on their team, trying to get information from all these stuff. Why don't y'all go check the facts?
Okay, Prism. Now, I don't know May that well, and I'm going to be quite honest with you, May. If you're in the clouds, I'll say this to you: I was following your channel because you seem to be a person that was an entrepreneur. I think I followed you as May the Alchemist. You was a community activist. And I thought you were new to the YouTube streets. So I was coming over there to support, what I normally do. I might not sit and listen to all of your content, but a thumbs up and a share or a comment goes a long way. So support you. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I cashed after you or not, but may have. I'll go back, but that's here nor there. But the more I watched you, you would put aside what you were doing, May, when it came to community active things. You would speak highly of your marriage, May. But May, as someone that was married, there's absolutely no way in God's green earth that my wife would spend that much time in all those different chat rooms. Absolutely not. Some of the conversations that I've heard you say to these men, to me, a married woman should not be having. I can understand you. Yes, you're entitled to your opinion. But as a married woman, your opinion has to stop somewhere. And let these single folks do what they do. Because one thing I have noticed, like I say, I do my research, mate. Seems to me that the majority of the women that you attack are single women. Why is that, mate? Because I think that the pedestal, the idea of being married puts you on a higher plane than these women. Would that be a fair assessment of how I see May Prism?
That she thinks marriage sets her on a higher plane than all the women who are single?
Yes.
Yeah, she thinks it does, but you can't tell me that May acts like a married woman. She doesn't.
Right, and that's right, and that's the thing. I know someone will say, someone is going to bring it up, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot it down right there. What about Bomb Cherry and Mr. Bomb Cherry? Shit, the man named Mr. Bomb Cherry. So what that mean? He understands what his wife is doing. He's right there. Y'all ain't never heard the man snoring?
Every time. Her husband, I don't go over to Bomb Cherry's channel that often. But what I will tell you is Bomb Cherry's productive. I sit there and watch her cook. I sit there and watch Bomb Cherry sew. And let me tell you, she can cut up better than anybody I know.
Okay.
But she absolutely, but sometimes Bomb Cherry, she'll disappear and she won't do a live for a while. You know, she knows her priorities. She knows what she needs to do. She talks about her grandchildren, her children.
Absolutely.
Bomb Cherry, I'm gonna say this, I'll say she's a legend in this space.
Legend among legends, yes. yeah, because you're right, and absolutely again. That's why I say there's no comparison in the two, because her grandson is there. I hear her speaking to her son. I hear her speaking to her husband. Sometimes whatever conversation that she's having, she's not hiding it from her husband.
No, she's not.
And definitely there was never, if she's speaking in any sexual way, she's not speaking not directly to one particular man. She's speaking to everybody in general. Am I right or wrong?
I would agree. I would agree.
Yes.
From what I've heard, I agree.
So again, Big J, this is the point that I'm going to ask you. If you are dare I say, a man of integrity, because I'm going to use it on this one, why would you allow these married women, and you know who I'm talking about, don't need to mention her name, to be in your panel arguing with single men? Why don't you ask these women to step aside? Hey, that's not going to happen on my panel. Y'all welcome to come here, but I'm not going to have y'all disrespecting these women. Why hasn't that happened, Big J? Right, sure. Shout out Leaky Leak. How is that? We've all, anybody that's been around Bomb Cherry the last 4 or 5 years, we've all watched this baby grow up.
Mm-hmm.
We all have. So Big J, like I said, if you're a protector of women, or if you're not allowing these women, why would you allow these two married women to be in put themselves, as you said, your own words, to put themselves in compromising positions, knowing that someone is going to question it sooner or later? Your thoughts, Prism, before we move on here?
I think I want to say this.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to be careful how I say this, because there's one person I really don't want to offend her. I don't have any vitriol toward this person. Okay.
Sure.
And
sure.
I don't, but I do think that Big J has a problem defending himself, and he's always surrounding himself with women who he feels like can protect him, and they can't. Not when it comes to another woman.
Well, again, that's dare I say it, but that's how a lot of folks. It's not only you that has said that, Prism. It's not just you.
Yeah, there's somebody who's an enemy that I don't really particularly care for him, but as time has went on, they say a broken clock is right twice a day.
At least twice a day.
There's some things that he said that have value, because of the stuff that I've been noticing myself. Because before the incident on yesterday, I really had no issue with Big J. I really didn't. I popped up on one of his channels, live streams one morning, and the only reason I popped up there was because someone called me and told me, "Hey, pop out. Marquise is over on Big J's channel." It wasn't because I was awake, because I don't listen to Big J. I'm not subscribed to him, and I don't really care.
Well, I got to say, I'm subscribed to Big J, and I follow him. Like I said, and I told Big J on several occasions why I follow him, because the content that you put out when I first met you, and through a mutual friend of ours, I trust her judgment. So she pointed me out to you, and some of the content that you was doing, Big J. I've asked you on several occasions, why don't you go back to them? But it seems to me every time I speak to you about it, or someone else speaks to you about it, it goes in one ear and out the other. And you seem to be more comfortable as a manosphere, dare I say, manosphere mascot. Because as I hear you speak sometimes, from the outside looking in, there's no difference. I don't either. Black Hawk. And let me go ahead and read this before I start. He says, music, I don't understand why any black woman would want to be involved in the manosphere. They denigrate black women. And you're absolutely right. And that's always a question that I ask. And some people will say it's a self-esteem thing, but nobody's in charge and your self-esteem or anything. But P.T. Barnum said it best, Black Hawk. There's a sucker born every minute. So,
but it pays.
Go right ahead, President.
But it pays.
And it pays.
Yeah, because let me say this. Okay, so
Go ahead.
when it comes to the woman sector of Black woman empowerment, it doesn't pay as well as it does for men.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of if you come in as a manosphere doll, to kind of prime men, and tell men what they want to hear. Men are very susceptible to their egos being stroked.
Yes.
And being told that, you're wonderful and amazing. And these women, they just treat you so bad. Black women don't deserve how good Black men are to them. Look at this woman right here. This is what y'all are talking about. They're for the streets. Look at her clothing. Look at her hair. These women need to get themselves together. If you kind of, let me say this, if this was all about money for me, I know how to acquiesce myself to these men if I needed to.
Yeah. If it was from what I heard, I'm sorry to cut you off, but from what I heard yesterday, if it was about the money, yesterday over Sharon panels, you made it clear.
Yeah, it was about
it. Right. I'm let you know when it's about the money.
Because I knew coming in yesterday, I can guarantee you Sharon made a lot of money yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
And it was very intentional, actually.
Oh, he did. Believe me. I mean, Sharon cleaned up yesterday because I watched it. I haven't finished the entire stream, but I watched enough to know that he made a nice little coin over there yesterday. Ching ching.
And it was intentional. I told PhD, but I said that Friday is payday for Sharon.
You did.
So I knew that I was going to be able, everywhere I go, this is what happens. So I knew that I was going to bring in some money yesterday. Because it didn't happen with Tommy Sotomayor. So I knew that May saw me, because let me say this, May kind of stalks people throughout the space. She knew that I was on Sharon's channel a couple days before because I had made a comment when they were talking about Barbie dolls, the situation with the wicked Barbie dolls. And so I knew that she knew that I was over there. So that's why she made it her business to pop up over there acting like she came to Sharon's channel to talk about marriage and all this other stuff. But when Sharon began to ask her questions about, hey, what about what would make you leave your husband? She was like, oh, well, let me think about it. She had to think about what would make her leave her husband. Like most people, most women would come off the cuff. If he cheated on me, if he abused me, if he wasn't taking care of his responsibilities of a household.
Easy answers.
If he started messing with blah, 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 blah.
Right.
If he, whatever. There might be certain things that make a woman just leave a man. But very simple things. But that's not why she was there. May was there because May knew that I had been there. And she has this thing where she feels like Mr. DJ Music, that she feels like I'm looking for someplace to go. YouTube has 4 million content creators. Why would I need to go there?
That's been my question, and that's something that I've always asked folks. If you don't like something, why are you there? If you just go to okay, I'm going to use me as an example. I don't agree with Angry Man's content. I don't follow him. But when he says something to me that someone has sent me or that I heard because he's on my timeline that's so egregious, I feel it's my responsibility to say something about it. But I don't continue to go back and forth about it. You know what I mean?
There's certain, I would never, let me say this. I would never have a conversation like the respectfully, Mary Brown is the owner of his channel.
Yes.
I would never have went to Obsidian's channel. I would have never went to BGS. I would have never went to Green Gorilla. I would have never went to Ed Anderson. I would have never went to this person or that person. I would have never went to any of those spaces. The only Manosphere Man's channel that I have ever went to, and I would say he's Manosphere adjacent, was DDS. That's the only Manosphere channel that I went to. And the only reason that I went to that channel is because I had such an affinity and a respect for Marvel 318. That was it.
Yes, I mean, I heard his name come up a few times, and I see Marvel in the chat room on several occasions. You know, we always speak, we're always cordial to each other. But again, like I said, I do my research, and I heard you mention that going back to May, and just going by from what I know about Marvel on a personal level, well, not personal level, but on a stream level, I've never heard this man disrespect or type disrespectfully to anyone. He may disagree, but
I have.
But the stream that I heard, I got my ways of finding things out. But the stream that I heard, to hear this man use the B word with impunity, is for like someone to say that they heard me using it. So
Yeah.
for me to say that, go ahead.
Because a lot of people see what may. Let me give me 1 second to I kind of want to read everybody something, because I want everybody to understand that May is very, very manipulative. She's deceptive. She's demonic. She's hateful. She's cruel. She knows how to kind of do what she needs to do to start trouble. She's a troublemaker. I'm not sure, like I have this type of feeling about certain people. I'm not sure what kind of spirits May deals with. But I make it my business, because whatever demons that she's messing with or dealing with, those demons don't like me. Okay.
Right.
So May sent me a message, and it was referring to somebody who I dislike on a level of such disdain that if I heard that this person was gone from the face of the earth for the rest of their life, I would probably throw a party because of it. Okay.
Well,
I don't feel that way about 3 people in this space. Okay.
Well, right.
So May calls herself a troll. And one of the things that May did is she unpacked herself. May thinks that she's the most intelligent troll there is. And actually, there is no troll in this space probably better as a male than Caribbean Casanova. And I'm gonna tell you that. Okay.
Never heard of him or this guy. I see Richard saying something about the DDS. I haven't never heard either one of their content, but from what I understand, the DDS plays heavily into this. May, the alchemist, is what I call her as I know her. He plays heavily into a lot of what's going on.
Let me say this. I think DDS, like a lot of people, got dragged into this mess. I think a DDS was probably manipulated into this mess. Okay, and along with a lot of other people. So May is talking about herself being a troll. She said, trolls feed off attention. Trolls dig deeper and get more invested once we know we got you behaving angry. Whether you're angry or not, it doesn't matter. If you give the perception of anger, it's fuel. Again, I am a troll. Trolls can't really troll trolls because we feed off the same fuel, and we won't offer each other fuel. A troll will block another troll. A troll will not respond to another troll. A troll will deny another troll their prize of being frustrated because a troll is after attention and irritation. The gotcha. The explosion is exciting to a troll. Once you ignore a troll, they lose all interest. You're feeding off the troll perception is everything. She said that me and this other person are totally playing into the troll. One of the troll's tools is to offer layered insults. Prism is a divester. Prism hates black men. Loaded language. She's mentally ill, and all of these other little things. Like she's trying to take down people's channels. She's a demon. Stretching accusations, coded suggestions, going into all the chats and saying Prism is this. You need to watch her. watch Prism because she's going to do this. This is the kind of stuff that May feeds off of. This is somebody who used to teach people's children. And I feel sorry for those kids. Okay?
Yeah.
So May is telling me all this stuff about that the more you do, you're gonna be attracting more trolls. The ego is the friend of the troll.
Okay, so let me back up just a little bit. Okay, so that letter you just read, that note that you just read, was penned by her.
It was sent to me from May. Mm-hmm.
So she describes herself as a troll, even with all that what you just read.
Yes, she was telling me who she is as a troll.
So, why do you think people would believe May? And again, I don't know May, but why do you think people believe? Why do you think Big J and other folks like Big J believe May? When there's now that I now know it's not from what you're telling me. Again, I do my research, and again, when you follow somebody or when somebody goes live, if you highlight the bell and the whistle and all that, when they go live, you know, the computer lets you know. So I might not catch when I was following her, I might not catch all of her lives, but I'll go back and, you know, the replay game. Sometimes I'll listen to some of it not, but each time it would be like the angry man. Okay, you would go over there looking, reading, waiting for her to talk about what's going on with the title. Yes, you're busy, but you're not talking about what's in the title. You're talking about other folks.
Right.
Or other events that has nothing to do with what's going on with the title. So that was one of the reasons why I basically stopped following her, because nothing that I thought I would be interested in that she was doing, it never materialized, because she was always, every place I saw her, she was always, and dare I say, in a disparaging mood. And this is not from what you told me, from what I've witnessed from my own eyes, whether it be under the name May the Alchemist, or correct me if I'm wrong, she goes by another name of May Reed.
Oh, May Free?
May Free or May Reed. Yes, May Free. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
May Free. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So let's play some more of this here.
Go check the facts. Because ain't nobody got beef with me except for them.
Girl, we ain't checking the facts. We don't give no fucks for real, okay? Y'all just running y'all mouth, nothing wrong with it. Do your thing, okay? But this, I remember the peso man and all this shit.
Okay, good. Was a bum. That nigga was a.
I knew Bum was going to mention his name, so now we know who that mortal enemy is. And I was quite disappointed at the peso man, folks. He said that he was all about destroying Kevin Samuels and how he was talking to black women. He said he was all about destroying the Passport Brothers, how they, instead of just going about their way, they would use black women to justify their fuckery out of his own mouth. So I followed him and I listened to his content. One day he went live and the content that he was talking about was completely against everything that he'd said. So much so that he went on a literal stalking spree with a particular content creator.
Yes.
To where the authorities, correct me if I'm wrong, had to step in.
Yes.
So again, how do you align it? May, how do you, Big J, and all the other folks, how do you guys align yourself with that? Big J, we know that you're not going to align yourself with him, because that's the guy that struck your channel.
Oh, but he's still aligned with him, because he was with him today, aligned with him.
Come on, Big J, say it ain't so. Again, like like DMX said, I gave you some information. You just threw it back in my face. So the part of the song says, if it's fuck me, nigga, then you know it's fuck you. This is why you're on a loose nigga roundup.
He ain't nothing but a fucking loser, somebody who act like he was a passport bro. This
clearly, I don't see Prism in them emails. I see May in them emails that she want to get the whole manosphere channels took it down. I saw the email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Corey, you in the manosphere?
Is Big J, is that why you're aligned with?
Oh, okay.
Is that why you're aligned with?
Niggas, nobody get a fuck.
Why you're aligned with me? Because you felt that both of y'all had a common interest.
I don't know how they can have a common interest. So let me say this about May. Okay.
Go ahead.
May
Go
has
ahead.
been
Right
giving
ahead.
that she's been in this space for only like about over 2 years. May has been on the YouTube space, I think, well over 7 years. May has made her way around to spaces like pro-black spaces, to Bay. May has been watching and looking for her moment to shine. So because May could not make it in the advocacy world or the pro-black spaces, May came over to this space to begin to create havoc for people. I don't know what's wrong with May. May was on Facebook creating havoc. There's some people right here that's in this space that talked about May creating havoc within Facebook groups. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a small world. I'm gonna tell you.
It definitely is, and to point out your point, you know, everybody was riding on Princella. Everybody was a fan of Princella. Even I was.
Mm-hmm.
From the information that I had, I thought Princella was going to come in and clean up the manosphere streets.
Mm-hmm.
But she turned her, dare I say, her fame into more of a personal thing, to where it was all about her, to the fact that when she was talking about black men especially are incapable of love. But that's another thing. But the point I'm making about it is, I thought you were someone new here around these spaces, but you're not. I thought that the social media aspect of what you're doing here on YouTube was brand new, but no, ma'am. It goes all the way back to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. I heard you say that Prism. I heard her say on several occasions that you doxed her, or you're looking to dox her. But May, I can tell you, if the word dox comes out, you need to go look at yourself, because you're everywhere. YouTube, Facebook. I even saw some you doing local news on a local news channel. So who doxed you? That's public information. And I'm not. And I'm being fair. And Prism, I want you to understand, I'm not here to say you're right or wrong. I'm just calling it down the middle from what I see. And so far, nothing that would suggest me to say that listening to May and having you on my channel will be detrimental to me.
Yeah, but that's part of the stretching the accusation that May does really well. She knows how to stretch a lie that's not really the truth. Like, she just lies about any little thing. I think that it was told to me that May said that I contacted her and told her that when I call you, you need to be available today. When after she made that statement, someone said something to me. I said, well, I got an email where May is sending, asking me what's wrong with my phone number. I changed my phone number because I didn't want to talk to May anymore.
Right. And then again, what you're saying, it's listen. I guess eventually, I'm sure Big J or maybe May will respond to this. So this, as they say, I'm expecting some pushback from Big J. So Big J, understand that this is an opening salvo. We could go either way with it. We can agree to disagree. You can be like BGS, an Angry Man, and Charles Faulkner, and a list of the Anton Daniels of the world, of the loose niggas of the world that I've done roundups on, like Black Hawk just said. I'm not Manosphere. I'm not SYSBM. And I notice every time I do go on a panel, you're absolutely right, Black Hawk. Folks want to interrupt me because maybe they understand that the bitter pill to swallow is the truth. I don't have no dog in this fight, Big J. I don't receive super chats from anyone. I don't ask for donations from anyone. I have a completely different outside entity other than this YouTube channel. And of course, we all know YouTube it takes its analytics. And if you go back and look at your analytics, it'll tell you who follows you and who subscribes to your channel.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of people that subscribe to my channel are not the people that I see on YouTube every day. Big J. Anyone else? Go look at who subscribe to you and who don't. And understand that if you had a channel on YouTube and 99% of your subscribers are here on YouTube, what's going to happen to your income if you lose your channel? Big J, you found out, didn't you? You got demonetized. And I heard you complain that you lost $200, $300, $400. Well, if you'd have kept your nose out the shit like this, you might not have lost it.
But it's the same people that he's running with that helped to remove his monetization.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You stop hanging around folks like this that you think got your best interest at heart, but they really don't. I've never struck your channel, Big J. I've never said, no, Big J, you got one of them guys that's got to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to strike. I have no reason to strike his channel because there's somebody that Big J that absolutely is an enemy that's causing a lot of this problem. The reason why I'm not going to mess with anything about Big J's channel is because I know that him being on YouTube is causing that 912 all kinds of drama. It makes him so angry. I have and I was never going to touch Big J's channel for that reason because I knew that it was going to totally tick him off that Big J still had his channel on YouTube because he's gunning for that channel to go down, and I'm not going to do anything to do anything. This channel right where it is.
Right. So understand, Big J. There are forces out there that are trying to take your channel down, but it's neither one of us.
No.
Okay, so let me get this. Let me understand this correctly. All right, so Big J. All right, so hold on. So Big J is against the manosphere. Real Prism, are you against the manosphere?
Didn't I say earlier that I think there are some people that need to be getting out, but there's some people that ain't that far. I said there's a far right of the manosphere, and then there's some people that are more moderate. They don't fucking care about certain things. But have I been to every manosphere channel? I don't listen to that bullshit.
Perfect.
I'm not listening to what they have to say. Why do I care?
Okay, and Corey, what's your thoughts on the manosphere? You on the side of disagreeing with the manosphere or on the manosphere side? Corey.
You can hear me?
Yes.
My honest opinion, this new manosphere that I came across with, it's not really actually the manosphere. I don't know what this called. When I came up off the 1.0 era, but with this new manosphere stuff, I don't know what this stuff. This is a whole nother level of extremism.
Okay, so you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Corey, and you're absolutely right. As BGS defined it, the manosphere 2.0. And so I do my research. So I go back to the original manosphere. The idea of the original manosphere was to ensure that young black boys got a better deal. They got better education. Where did that concept go? A hell if I know. It went out the door with 2.0. It went out the door when BGS came down from Mount Manosphere with the Moynihan Report and the Kerner Commission report in his hand, convincing that these young black men that y'all was going to come back to the table after the pandemic. Not my words. I'm stealing from other folks. But understand, I'm sure y'all getting a visual of BGS because they call BGS the master teacher. Mm-hmm. They should call BGS the masturbator. That's bottom line is because it's a circle jerk when you guys go over there. The Kerner report has been debunked. The Moynihan report has been debunked. And the thing about this is when you guys are sitting there listening to this so-called master teacher, he's reading it the same time that he's talking about it. Mm-hmm. And that was exposed. He was exposed. Highlighting something, or this is what I'm going to talk about. And then seeing how the chat responds to it. And that was his content. That's the master teacher. So May, when I heard you say that you prescribe and like BGS's content, that says more to me about you than anything else. Now I'm going to ask you, Prism, what is the difference between a mammy and a pick-me?
Well, the new terminology, from what I understand, is that there are people who are modern day black mammies, that they are the plantation social, I would call them the social media plantation mothers that oversee everything that's going on within the space. The pick-me's are the women who are playing up to, placating, and idolizing black men because there might be some financial gain to it. Okay. And honestly, I think May probably can be defined as both of them.
Okay. Again, I don't dwell in the house of the women when they get into their, when you get into your spats or whatever. I generally just kind of stay on the sideline. But there's a couple of times I've asked myself, and I've asked some particular women, and Mahogany Roots, if you ever listen to this, I think there was a time last year that I saw you on a particular panel, and I asked you, why sit up there and take all that abuse? For what? What you going to gain from it? And here it is. Those same folks that was fucking with you some years ago, still fucking with you now. Simply by guilt by association, because they saw you on a panel with someone else that they didn't like. Mm-hmm. So just the same with you, Prism. Going back to the reason why all this vitriol is coming at you, whether it be from May, whether it be BGS or whatever, is because of a lecture or an interview.
So yeah, that the vitriol that's coming at me is based on the fact that when all of this stuff began to happen, a lot of the women that were on this certain person's channel, we began to become like cool. And every night after the show was over, we would get together and talk about what happened on the show. What can we do better? Blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And it became like, everybody enjoying each other's company. We would talk. Some people mm-hmm. would stay on until late in the night. Okay. Just talking about stuff. Okay?
Right.
As time went on, there was a certain person who was a part of the group who got exposed for dealing with somebody in another space that we didn't know about. Mm-hmm. Okay. This was around December last year. And this person got exposed for having a relationship with a certain troll in this space.
Yes.
And the story was that whatever he said was not true. And we talked about it, whatever, and we decided to go over and defend that person. If you go over to that person's channel, that video is still on that person's channel.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, go ahead.
So once she found out that it was me, two other men, Caribbean Casanova, another person, another woman that is new in the space. We all went over to defend her. And mm-hmm. when we were over there, it was kind of like she was enjoying all the stuff that was going on. Everybody could see it. Okay. Right. They could tell that she was absolutely enjoying all of this
attention
and attention around her.
Yeah. Yes. I'll agree with that. I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'll absolutely agree with it. Everybody, not only the women, but the folks in the particular chat room was kind of riding to her defense. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think one of the gentlemen that's in the chat room right now actually paid her debt to society, so to speak.
He did. He paid the debt
right.
for her. And May told him in the chat, why did you pay her debt? She needs to pay her own debt. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I want to reference that point for a reason.
Well, right, and again, and you're absolutely right, because I was in the chat room, and again, I saw. I can remember some of the comments, and there was a lot of people that said, "Let her pay her own debt." And yes, May, you were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, it was. The person that paid the debt, he was being, I would think, gentlemanly about it. Listen, if this is what it's going to take to squash it, if this is what it's going to take for you to stop talking about this black woman in this fashion, here.
Yes. So there was a certain man who happened to be in that space that knows me. He told me that I was not going to like what he had to say to me. And he said, I know you want to, protect black women. He said, but there's certain black women you cannot protect, and she's one of them. And he basically called her a bummy, bitch. And I didn't want to accept what he had to say, but I had to realize that he might be right. I waited and I didn't say anything. And, about maybe the next day, that person called me and she said, I think I'm going to do a parody on the issue, on the situation that just happened. And I said, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is not funny. Why would you do that? So she kept giggling and laughing like she thought it was funny. And I didn't think it was funny, and I got off the phone because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I started realizing what that guy told me was true.
Right. Okay? And again, folks, this is not anything that what Prism is saying now. It can be easily verified. All you just have to do it just go over to and I'll say it, go over to GMT's channel, go into his archives. The video is still up. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take her word for it. But the proof is in the pudding. It is where it is. It is what it is. Like I said, it doesn't take much. The internet is two things. It's unforgiving, and it doesn't forget anything.
No, it doesn't.
So what you do, what you thought you might have done 5 years ago over on Facebook, still can be found. Or something that you might have thought that you said 6 weeks ago on YouTube, because it's blocked, chances are somebody done clipped it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's continue here. And let me say this. Hey, HT Baldwin, I got a shout out to one of my DJs on the Classic R&B Jams Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in for some good old house music on Thursday night, I know he's kind of on at late in an hour for some of us, but from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, check out my man, HT Baldwin, aka DJ Ed, on Classic R&B Jams Radio. Of course, the link and to the website and where you can listen at is down in the description over there. So please feel free to click in at any time. Shameless plug, 24-hour a day internet radio station. Give us 15 minutes. We guarantee to play something that you like, that you want to hear. Ain't that right, HT? but anyway, getting back to the real thing here. Here we go. I knew I wanted to say something. Big J, I've been avoiding playing this link because I'm trying to speak to you without people hearing you yell and scream. I want to make my point to you without your voice, but there's no way around it. There's absolutely no way around this because while I was recording this, Big J, I was quite disappointed and upset with you at the same time. But we're going to continue.
So you're not in agreement with the new wave of manosphere?
Exactly.
Okay, and also May, I believe, is not agreeing with the manosphere. So I don't know why y'all have so much contention with each other if y'all kind of like on or seem like very close to the same side.
Not really, because May is a liar.
She's an infiltrator, bro.
She's an instigator and she's a liar. If you go around the space and you talk to people like Keep It 100, go to his video and look at May. Green Gorilla, BGS, Dr. Thunder. May was trying to get in because she was trying to make it seem like she was one of the good black women. She was married because talking about women not having degrees and all this other stuff. But then she's on Rumble calling the people with the small hats NIGGRs, and then she's in another space.
Okay, Prism, again, documented evidence of what you're saying is absolutely true. I have no dog in this fight. And May, I do remember one time being in the chat room with you, might have been Big JX, when just what you said that married women, something about at the educational level of single mamas and different things like that, that they're, need to get what they can get, basically. And I'm saying in a nutshell. But my response to you is like, well, not everybody that's not married or doesn't have a kid is destined to fail. That's ludicrous as a woman to even say that. But hey, I'm not here nor there. I don't have nothing to say about that anymore. So you left the conversation alone. You didn't respond to me. But what I do notice is, again, I'm kind of anal on a few things. So I notice when people stop speaking to me. And from that comment on, mate, you never spoke to me again. Never saw you in my chat room again. Never said hi, bye, fuck you, nigga, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the only thing that May can hold on to, that she has any type of success, that she thinks that she has any success on anybody. Because her life has been very, how can I say this? May has never had a steady life. The only thing that she's ever had that has been useful to her is the fact that she's been able to have a marriage. Okay. And I think this is her second marriage. Okay. And let me say this. May doesn't have anything over single women. May just is I hate to say this, it's an old terminology, but this is what my mother says about May. May is a busybody. Okay.
Yeah.
A busybody. She likes to make it seem that Prism is always in all of these spaces starting trouble. But how is that true when you're the one in all of these spaces?
Well, Prism, you're right, Sean. I didn't mean to cut you off, Prism, but you're right. Yeah, don't call me no motherfucker. Don't do that. Don't do that. But you're right, Prism. The names that you mentioned, I went back and I went back to not some of their recent streams, but some old streams. How do you do that? You just type it into what? In the search bar of Google of YouTube. If they have a channel, or if somebody has something to say about them, want their name pop up?
Yeah, absolutely. If you type in her name, you're going to find that she's all over the space.
All over. That's the point I'm trying to make to you, May. Prism, I don't see you everywhere.
No, I'm not.
I saw you on Mary Brown's channel. I saw you on, I think maybe one time on a couple of times on DJ Torch's channel, who may have had some pleasantries over there. But that's about it.
I've been on DDS's channel.
I don't know him.
I popped out on somebody else a couple of days ago. So let me say this. They don't know anything about me, but I can tell you this. May has been on Green Gorilla, Dr. Thunder, Man of Tomorrow. Ed Anderson literally had to boot May because she was trolling him and those men in that chat.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so all those names that you, Big J, this is what comes back to you, okay? All those names that she just mentioned, those are the guys that you said that you were trying to take out. So again, no disrespect, May, but Big J, if someone like that is frequent all of those spaces of men you despise, why would you befriend her? Big J, why is she or somebody that you feel comfortable in your space when you know that you don't like BGS, you don't like Man of Tomorrow, you don't like Angry Man, you don't like DDS, you don't like Reg the Bad Guy, you didn't like Kevin Samuels, you didn't like Sinful the P, you didn't like this guy, that guy, and as I do my research, Big J, so I went over to your community tab. And I just started scrolling down your community tab, Big J. Big J versus this person. Big J versus that person. Baller X. Big J versus that person. When you gonna hit enough, brother?
Yeah, it's kind of like the nerve for you, for these certain people, to say that I've been everywhere, when your name, if you type that person's name in, they come up with hundreds of videos with those people's names on it. And
That's my point. That
And
is
I
exactly my point.
Let me tell you what I think the goal of May was. Okay. And some things I'm probably going to reveal, and it's probably going to, if the manosphere people hear this, because one manosphere man came after May. May decided to pop up on a live stream and question this manosphere space that she had been in. Now, let me say this. I knew May was a busybody. I was just waiting for the moment for everybody to figure out who May really was. May used, I believe, in the heart of heart, May used DDS. She felt like DDS was in enough spaces with Manosphere to give her an open door to get into knowing all these men, so that she could take out the competition. The first person that she went after was Chantel Simone. She started attacking Chantel Simone, striking her page every day until Chantel Simone had to start hiding her stuff. I'm pretty sure in the email that I have, one of the people that she said that she wanted to highlight, which is what Keep It 100 did on his show one night, that he read an email from May where she wanted to go after Crimson Cure. On the first episode that May had with Keep It 100, she began to talk about the women in the manosphere. She's like, well, you know, one of the manosphere men had highlighted me because y'all keep saying that there's no good housewives. You know, I'm a housewife. She felt like, May feels like she deserves to be over these men. And as she was talking to Keep It 100, she was talking about, you know, this white woman who came into the space that is advocating for other Black men that she's counseling outside of this space. Okay. May was questioning, why should this white woman be, y'all that opened the door for this white woman to come in, y'all that rolled out the red carpet. And basically, as she was talking to them, she was in, and I hate to say this, May does not like, you can't love Black men, go into their space and tell them y'all dumb.
No, right. I understand exactly what you're saying. You can't go in pretending that that I'm here for you, but in the same time, as one of my YouTube friends, Classic Ruby, would say, you can't come in with a backhanded insult,
right?
A backhanded compliment,
right? So basically, she was telling those men that you guys are too stupid to realize that this white woman is trying to mess y'all lives up. Okay,
right.
And
what would be the purpose of what would be the because again, a lot of the names that you mentioned I wasn't familiar with. Let me address this. He says Black Hawk says, damn music, you be everywhere. Yeah, Black Hawk, and it's through I guess through people sending me clips, but I could be quite nasty if I wanted to, Black Hawk. But some of the clips that folks send me, when I go to these places, I don't speak, I don't talk. I'm just in the clouds listening. And why am I in the clouds listening? For streams like this.
Yes.
So when I do say something, you can't argue with me. Right. You can't say, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. I went and saw it. Or here it is. So unfortunately, sometime, hey, ABT, unfortunately, sometime when you're doing these loose nigga roundups, you ever seen a clean horse until they wash him down? You know, the horse get dusty. You know, the rider, the cowboy, he got his little mask on to keep the dust from flying in his face. Got a hat on. He got chaps and spurs. So when the horse get out of line, what do you do with them spurs? Horse got a bit in his mouth so he can control him.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot. When I say loose nigga roundups, I want everybody to understand the concept of what this loose nigga roundup is. Your mouth, your ears, and where I see you at.
Mm-hmm.
If you say no, it's not that it. Well, what you got to do with it? I would not be just complacent if I say that I'm a man that protects women or don't like people disrespecting my race. That we would not be just as culpable as them.
Right.
And would not be two-faced and not to call Big J out on his fuckery, if I can call out an angry man.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Big J, here we go. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
No, I was saying, so yeah, like Big J, like he's aligning himself with people who have alternate motives to what his motives proclaims to be. So
yes,
but go ahead.
I agree because Big J, why I agree with that statement, because I heard you this morning say you're in this by yourself, and many a times on several occasions I've told you, no, Big J, you're not. You got to know what the discretion of the discretion be the better part of valor. Stop going into places where you know you can't win. And you cannot say that I have not told you that on several occasions. Don't go screaming and go yelling. Look at the chat room when people putting the little memes of the ambulance down there, or people say that you about to stroke out. That don't bother you. You can take this as an insult stream, or you can take it as, damn, I guess the nigga do give a fuck what happens to me. It's up to you, bro. But I know what I'm expecting. Sad that I think that you're going to go back to your platform and try to blast me out, but be careful what you blast.
I would agree, because let me say this: Big J gonna learn a very difficult lesson about the people that he's teamed up with, because I don't really care anything about his channel. I'm gonna let them destroy his channel.
Yeah,
they had a whole. This person did a whole clip of them striking his channel and striking it for nudity when there's no nudity on that channel. None.
Yeah, right, none. And I didn't hear you raise a whole lot of hell about that, Big J, even though you knew who the culprit was. Because when somebody strikes your channel, whether they can hide it from their fans that say no, they didn't, but they can't hide it from you. He was telling you who struck your channel.
Yeah. So, what we gonna go ahead and play a little more?
Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and play some more. I think I went out for a minute. Am I back now?
Yes, sir.
All righty, here we go, folks.
Saying that she should be a white supremacist, and if she could, she would be a white supremacist.
I can vouch for that.
And then in another space, May is over here with what's the dude name that used to run with Dr. Umar? What's his name? She's in a polygamy marriage. Let's see, she's over there with what's his name? Taharka Bay. She started trouble over there. The next minute she's over there with Queen Sunkiss. She started trouble over there. That's why Queen Sunkiss got demonetized. You don't think I know? I got the emails from YouTube. May is everywhere that she can start trouble. She's been on the streets of YouTube. If you type her name in, it's not doxing. She's on the streets of YouTube, so you can type her name in. May, 1 minute she's a Medicaid mammy and begging for the rights of Medicaid. The next minute she's a great mother. The next minute she's a great wife. And all these other things. She come up here making it seem like she's this wonderful woman. She's never in any mess and stuff. But May is nothing but full of mess. Everywhere she goes, she's full of mess. If you go to DDS channel, Marble 318, Marble is one of the coolest people there is.
He is.
Marble 318, one of the coolest brothers there is. Marble 318 cussed May out because of the stuff that she do. So everybody can't be lying on May.
Well, so my question is, how did y'all find us? Because we're not in none of that.
Yeah, you're not in none of that. My thing
I
was
wanted to answer that, PhD.
About getting rid of the black
I wanted to answer that. I know how they found y'all. Fuckery follows fuckery. Big J was over on your over on Sharon's platform, and some of his folks came over there.
Yeah.
Fuckery follows fuckery. That's how they found you.
Yeah, because
that's how they found you.
But the first time I came over to Sharon's channel, there was no conversation about May. None of those people.
None
of them.
None. And
nobody.
Go ahead. Right. And I'll say it, May. I never saw you on Sharon Bracey's platform until a couple of days ago. Never.
Yeah. So
never.
And this whole thing, I'm coming to take over people's platforms. I'm taking over people's channels and going over to, let me say this, it's a little cooler over here. You can have a conversation, you don't have to worry about 55,000 people talking at one time. Over there it's unorganized chaos over there.
Yes, it
Everybody
was.
has something to say. Everybody has questions. Everybody wants to say something.
Right.
So let me say this. When Tommy Sotomayor was over there the day before and all this stuff was popping off, May was nowhere on that panel talking about, oh my God, this is going on. When Raw B comes over there and she works the work, she worked the crowd and she says whatever she has to say. Nobody's over there. May's not over there talking about, she over there trying to take over Sharon channel. She don't say anything like that. When I've heard when May gets started over her on the channel, she talking, Peso will tell May to shut the hell up. May's always talking about, she trying to I was supposed to be taking over a Mary Brown's channel. I'm supposed to be trying to do this to Mary Brown.
Okay. Let me address that part right there, Prism. How did you get this link?
You gave it to me.
And when you hit the link, where did it bring you to?
The back of the StreamYard.
Okay, and until I clicked on it, hey Mel, how you doing? Until I clicked on that button to bring you up into this up onto this platform, what could you do to destroy my channel?
Not one thing.
And when I brought you up here, so far we've been here a little over 2 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
At any point in time, if I said you got to go, and I dropped you, how would you get back in if I didn't let you?
I couldn't.
You couldn't. You absolutely couldn't. Not unless you have you got a magic wand somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You got right. You got some kind of special powers that YouTube would allow you to circumvent, or StreamYard would allow you to circumvent me saying no, Prism, you can't come to my stream.
No, I don't have that power. No.
So in some point in time, if you when you was on Sharon Bracey's stream or anybody else's stream, and somebody says, "Prism, you're trying to destroy my channel," I'm dropping you.
Mm-hmm.
End of the story, isn't it?
Absolutely. But Sharon, let me say this: Sharon welcomes everybody to his channel. If you and I'm sure I know for a fact I've not been the most controversial guest over there.
Hell no.
So
hell no.
The first time I was over with Sharon, I sent him a super chat and I told him, congratulations on your channel. I hope you do real well. That was it. So let me say this. I watch a few people within the space, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to appear on anybody's channel to get rid of their channel. I don't.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
No, I don't have to you would never even know if I'm watching your channel or not. If I look at your content and I feel like whatever you are, whatever, I don't like you. If I feel like if I want to report your channel, I can report your channel. You would never even know. But I don't have to come to somebody's panel to take their channel down. That's why when Keep It 100 told May that stuff got to make sense. You making shit up. When they told him, she told him, you a divester is helping him. He was like, a divester ain't never helped no black man nowhere.
What and why would they?
That's right. He was like, you're gonna have to make over here. You're gonna make shit make sense.
Right. And again, I do my research, Prism. So I did go to visit that channel. And do I agree with everything that he says over there? But one thing I will say, and that particular, I won't say how I got it, but he held May's foot to the fire about some of her accusations. And that not only did he held her foot to the fire, he kind of exposed her.
Yeah, he did.
So
He did.
again, may be careful where you're at, because you never know who's watching. And so
a lot of enemies in this space.
Yeah, and that's it seems to be the common theme. May, and again, I know this was supposed to be about Big J and Company, but you know, hey, that's why I had you up on the platform today, Prism, because I don't want anyone to say that I'm talking bad about May without just saying, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I heard. No. You can go find out for yourself, folks. You can go look for yourself. All those names that was mentioned earlier, all those streams that was mentioned earlier, you can find May there. But on the same token, and all those streams that was mentioned, I can't find you there. You know how I know? Because the chat doesn't lie.
That's right.
If you type in the chat, that means you're in there. Am I correct?
That's correct. Even even with my channel not being there any longer, if somebody said hi Prism, you will see my name.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right. So again, that business of you going being a channel hopper, I don't see that, because I'm around. I'm in a lot of spaces. Some I talk in, some I don't. One thing I do know for sure, I see you in a whole lot less spaces than I see her. But let's continue.
Fear stuff.
Okay.
And that black women shouldn't get it. That's the hey Jay, we're clarifying right now. We don't need your help.
Shit.
We're clarifying. So PhD, when you and I were talking about, don't talk about no black women should have done nothing when you've been on the streets of YouTube for 10 fucking years talking about the manosphere, fighting with the manosphere, and why, if you're concerned about the manosphere, why would you even get over there and start fighting them? All you had to do was do what you need to do. The problem is that you're not smart enough to do what I do. Ooh. I'm not doxing no fucking body. I don't need to dox nobody. Who did I? But you ain't never. If I wanted to find out,
you came up on here, interrupt me as I was talking.
Big J, because you blaming a
Big J, you doing shit too, bro.
You fucking blaming a whole collective of black
women. I don't know you, nigga. I don't know you, Corey. Who is you? Who is you?
Nigga, you doing shit too, nigga.
Who is you?
Okay, how? Tell me how then.
Here we go.
Tell me how. Oh wait, tell me how.
Okay, so that's fair. Okay, so Corey.
Tell me how, Corey.
Big J, before I let you go on your rant, notice how Bomb Cherry said, "Here we go."
Yes.
Because we all knew what was coming next, Big J.
Yes.
We all knew what was coming next. You were frustrated with Prism and PH Diva. First, you tried to take it out on not Marvel, but Silent. What's his name? Silent J. Is that the guy, Double Dog? Silent J. He didn't bite. So Corey comes up and Corey directly speaks to you. So you couldn't wait to vent your frustration about these women holding you accountable, because you know why I know that you were upset with these women? Because you screamed. I'm talking now. That's manosphere. As in, shut up, woman. I'm talking. You ain't got nothing to say. That's manosphere. Am I wrong, y'all?
No, you're right.
Let's go, Big J. So y'all, if you got headphones on, folks, turn it down.
Go ahead, tell me. Give me examples, motherfucker. Who is you? I don't know you, nigga.
Hey, Marvelous, welcome back.
If you like something,
I cannot stand niggas. You do that clown show shit. Now tell me, bring me the goddamn proof where I'm full of shit at, Corey, because I don't know you, nigga.
All right. Okay, hold on.
I never had a conversation with you, nigga.
Get your tampon out your ass, nigga.
No, tampon, nigga. You sound like a bitch. You sound like a fucking female. Put some
bet you won't say that right from me, though, pussy. I bet you won't say that right from me, though, pussy. I bet you won't say that right from me, though, pussy.
Hold on.
I bet you won't say that right from me, though, pussy. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. They're like,
Who is you again? I
bet you won't say that right from me in real life,
you. I will do that in real life, bitch.
You never camped up with your bitch ass.
Hold on.
I don't give a damn. Hey, you never came up either. But you ain't came up
You ain't gonna yell right from me in real life, though. You ain't gonna yell right from me in real life, though.
Okay. All right, hold on, Jay. Hey, I need. Hold on, Corey. So, Jay, I just brought you down because you're not listening. So, I want Corey to be able to address what you asked him. How you are full of shit, and then so this way you can respond back. There, Corey just dropped. Get him to explain why you're full of shit, so we can move the conversation forward. Also, I want to shout out to the Cash App that says the problem is Prism. She doxes people, don't show.
Okay, who have I doxed? Who would I need to dox?
Good question.
For what purpose?
Good question.
All right.
And nobody has answered that question yet.
No one has answered that question. I was waiting for it. I was waiting to see if someone could say, yeah, it's because everyone that I know that's gotten doxed can point to the person that did it. Can come and say, like with Grandmaster Troll, we know who doxed him. Angry Man did. The young lady that took out Obsidian, we know who doxed her in her private life. We know that. So I'll ask you, Prism, who have you doxed that we can that these claims that they made just now can be substantiated?
No one.
Now, remember I told you to hold on to those that thought earlier about the places. You've been to BGS's channel, right?
No, I've never been to
You've heard of him, right?
Yeah, I've heard about Louis.
Okay. You've heard of Man of Tomorrow before, right?
Yeah, only because, somebody sent me the video of May being over there. Yeah, I know.
Right. So all these different content creators that I would consider bottom of the bowl rust stains, if you really wanted to get rid of these channels, do you have that capability?
Do I have the capability of getting rid of the channels of some of these men?
Yes.
Sure.
So if you have that capability, why are channels like Angry Man's, BGS's, and all those still up? If you went around doxing everybody that you disagreed with, but no one can show me concrete proof where you doxed anyone.
I haven't. But let me say this. I want to add a caveat to that.
Sure.
If you start attacking me and you're out here running your mouth, making accusations about me and threatening me, I'm going to find you. I am, when it comes to unlimited resources on how to find people, I have those unlimited resources. Now, I've given people, I like to take people on a wild goose chase. When I don't trust you, when I find your character a little questionable and I start hearing stuff from you that's a little questionable, I'll tell you something that I do, but I really don't do that.
Right.
Because it's really none of your business what I do. And so that's been the issue with all these people. May saying that I work for the FBI. Okay.
To go back to that, you kind of hit it on a little bit. I'm like you. I've been doing the radio show and the YouTube streams here. So it's actually I've been on YouTube since 2012, I do believe, January 6th, unfortunately, 2012. So at no point in time can anyone go on any of my social media sites, Facebook, TikTok, and find a personal something about me, whether it be a picture, whether it be something about my family, whatever. Why? Because my anonymity is important to me. How is important is yours to you?
Absolutely, because I'm a private person. I have a right to privacy, which is why Google is so anal retentive about people being able to come to the platform. If they decide not to cam up, you're going to have to break the wall of Gibraltar to make them give you your information. A lot of people have been trying to threaten me, a certain content creator who is no longer on YouTube. And every time he creates a channel on YouTube, it's going to be eliminated by me because you threaten people and you don't know how to behave yourself. So you're not going to control me. And I don't care if you do 5,000 videos on me. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. So my privacy, my daddy, my mama, and my family members are important to me. And I'm not going to let some random Negroes online who don't have a life interfere with those people's peace. Because I'm going to take it real personal, which I've done. I've taken it very personal. And I've had to do things to make sure that those people, because when they started running their mouths, I've had to send and had people within the Google corporation listen to those people's live streams while they were active and some not active to find out these people are a problem.
Right. You know, to me, and again, we spoke in the back chat. So this was one of the questions I'm sure you had expected from me, and because I said this, I said one of the very first times that I heard you on a platform, I put you in the category of the bomb cherries and the raw bees. You don't want to piss this woman off because there's a lot of women who say that they'll do something and don't follow through. But something about the when I heard you speaking that particular morning on, I won't mention that chat, and you said, I'm going to exact my revenge on you, and you're not going to like it. I'm going to make sure that every time I see your channel, I'm going to take it down. If I see you, and again, this from other sides. So when I hear women like you and Bomb Cherry and Forever Harriet and a few of the others, when I hear y'all women speak, I'm on the side of don't fuck with her because she's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm in the mindset that when you make a flagrant foul, and I'm gonna use it that way, that you offend me and offend the members of my family by saying that someone touched me, and you make it as a light set, like you're using it, trying to act like that's satirical and you're funny and it's trolling and all this other stuff. No, that's, to me, that is a foul.
Right.
And I'm gonna that person is probably one of the sickest individuals I think I've ever come in contact within the space of YouTube.
Right.
He's a disgusting human being. He
Right.
really is. And he said this. He said this not just about me, but he said it about multiple women in this space, and he thinks it's funny. And he's a very disgusting human being. I even hate calling him a human being.
Well, again, some of the accusations that I heard, and I'll tell you again, fact check, folks. If you go over to Mary Brown's channel, and if you know the right video to look at, you will hear just what she said.
So that it's not a Mary Brown's channel.
Sorry.
And see, this person forgot that these videos existed. Because he's a liar, and it confirmed to a lot of people, including the CCB, that he's a liar.
Okay, so let me correct that. He was speaking to a Mary Brown,
right, on the Spro show.
Right, and I wasn't assured, so I thought the video that I was looking at was from, because like I said, I'd like to do my research. I'm not again, Prism. I'm not saying that I'm not believing you, but I like to go and make sure that when someone's telling me something, that it's there. So if someone comes back and say, well, all she's doing is just feeding you a bunch of garbage. No, she's not, folks. I see it. I hear it. I saw it. I heard it.
And not only did you hear it from me, but you heard it from another woman.
Right. Not once, not twice, a couple of times. I heard that. That's a common thread of this particular gentleman that she don't want to mention, so I won't. But that's the common thread.
Because
maybe somebody touched you.
He gets a rise out of hearing his voice. So we're not going to even acknowledge him because to us, he's DOA as the rest of them. They're DOA. Right. Exactly. So again, that was the reason why one of the reasons why I wanted to have you up here, Prism. I think that a lot of what I heard yesterday could have been easily verifiable, but it was a shit show. It was fuckery Friday. So I said, you know what? Let me go and contact Prism and see if I can get her up on the show and have a little conversation about this. So we did have a little back chat about it. And again, as I'm listening to you, I went to the names that I heard on Sharon. So you didn't send me to these people. I heard you say them, that anybody could go pause the video, type in that name, and damn. She was right. She was right. Yeah. And again, let me just say this about the Sharon Bracey's panel and Big J. Again, I heard you say this, and I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't agree with Sharon Bracey when he had the white folks on the panel. I said my piece on it. But at no time, Big J, did I threaten to take this man's channel. At no time. I literally heard that come out of your mouth. And Shard, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring up an incident that we had talked about a couple of years ago. The reason why I know, actually, I'll wait till you, Shard, type okay in the chat room if it's okay for me to mention your name here, because I got to go back into the history books a little bit. I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna come back.
They're gonna keep on saying that, but I've never doxed anybody. Who do I need to dox?
Okay, that's a good point. Do anybody know who she doxed?
Yeah, who do I dox?
Okay, let's get to some of the super chats while we calm it down just a little bit.
All right, Jabba the Rainbow Boogeyman. Hey, Jabba. Is this foolery you had in mind, Sharon? Oh, is this the foolery you had in mind, Sharon? Good Lord.
Totally unexpected.
Jabba's so funny. Natasha Vincent, for everyone who needs a hug today. Thank you, ma'am.
We appreciate you.
The mod mother.
I wanted to get to that part right there before I go on and talk about that short right there. Natasha Vincent, if you ever listen to this video, you're one of the people that your comments are always, can I use the word inspirational at times? You don't see no fault in anyone like Char Willie here. She sees no fault in someone sometimes. And is that to a detriment? You know, like I always say, Char, I ain't nice like boss. I'll come slap the black off you. Char and Natasha, y'all give people the grace.
Yeah, she's.
I'm not giving grace no more. I learned from you, Char, that the giving grace is the best thing to do sometimes. But I'm tired of it now.
She's been a Miss Char Willie has been a very, at moments that I wanted to literally, if I could, I would have put a bomb in this space and blew it up. Miss Char Willie has definitely been a stabilizing force behind the scenes for me. Her and a couple other women in the space. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Like I said, she's a no nonsense kind of person. When she says wrap it up, when she was doing her live streams, when it was time to go, it was time to go. But the reason why I bring that up, Char, is because you pointed these guys out to me one day that you was trying to get I'm going to use the big word, coalition of brothers together to help out the young men because you saw a need for it. So you called me, Green Gorilla, Peso Man, and I forgot who the other. I forgot who these guys were. I forgot the other guy was. But after having the conversation with them, Char, what did I tell you? I don't want to work with that guy. Something ain't right. Something ain't right about that. I don't want to work with that guy. Talking about the Peso Man and the Green Gorilla. I don't really want to work with them like that. Long before I even know of you, Prism. Long before I started really doing live streams. Am I right, Char? came back to you and I said, something ain't right about this guy. I don't want to work with him. No, nah. I don't think he'll be a benefit to the cause. I don't think so. You know, these guys, what they're talking about with their PhDs and all this other stuff. So when you pointed them out to me, of course, I went and I looked at their channels. And I saw a lot of these guys was aligned with BGS. I saw Charles Faulkner put out a GoFundMe that's been up for what, almost 2 years now, almost 3.5 to almost 2 years, 2.5 years. Ain't reached his goal yet. Why? Because it ain't for the little black boys. That's why.
Yeah, it's not really like, let me say this. If you care about kids, you care about your conversation.
Say again.
If you care about children, you'll care about the conversation.
That's right.
Okay. So let me say this. There's YouTube is for content creation. Okay. It's not for content wars. It's not for you to make 15 to 20 videos about one woman, about somebody's life. It's not for you to continue going over and over and over and over and over and over. That is against the YouTube policies. Now, there's a lot of people on this space that do a whole lot of that, okay? And they're getting away with it for now, okay? But now, there's a lot of stuff that has eyes on this space. There's a specific woman who I'm in contact with who is over the black space of YouTube. And I asked her, when is the last time she never knew about certain spaces that were having all of these issues? She never knew. I kind of turned the light bulb on for her. And the reason why I'm turning the light bulb on it is because, honestly, it's money over people.
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people don't give a daggone about kids, and I can tell you that factually. They don't.
Absolutely.
If you go ahead.
And a prime example of that, and I'm going to go off the beaten path a little bit, but again, remember I told you the original stream that I was going to do was going to feature the Angry Man and Jay Prince. So part of the conversation that I was going to have about Jay Prince, he came over to one particular content creator and said, "Folks is mad at me because I'm asking for super chats and all." Yeah, so instead of taking your black ass to work. But the thing about it is, now I did ask you this behind the scenes, so I'll ask you in front of everyone.
Okay.
I didn't know that you, I know you knew of Jay Prince, but I didn't know that you donated to him. So this was the first person that I had to ask. Now I ask you this. If Jay Prince didn't have those daughters on that stream, would you donate to that channel?
Probably not.
That's the general consensus.
Yeah, probably not. No.
No.
So let me say this. That I would have never really known who Jay Prince was, but there was somebody who I looked at his channel, and that I think is kind of funny, and then all of a sudden he came up in the algorithm, and it was all of this information about him and his wife. Okay. And I started listening to some of the content, and then I noticed that he was going to be going live. And I started listening to a lot of the stuff that was going on over there.
Yep.
I was genuinely concerned about his daughters.
Yep.
Okay. Let me say this. I don't think there's any perfect parents at all. Okay?
No.
I think we all have flaws in our humanity. I think what the problem is that children, I expressed this to Jay Prince. I told him, I said, let me tell you something. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do this. And I said, I'm going to do this one time, and this is the only chance you're going to get. And I voiced my concern about his family. He was in a bad place, and I felt genuinely, I feel like a lot of times when I hear certain people, I feel like he was, I hate to say it, but and I don't think it's a terrible thing. I feel like he was crying out. I feel like possibly there's some difficulties that happened in that situation. Their marriage is really not any of my business. That's between him and his wife. I asked him, did he want his family? And I think everybody thought that me saying, do you want your family? It had anything to do with the young lady that he is estranged from.
Right.
When I say, do you want your family? It had nothing to do with, and nobody even assumed this, but his kids being removed from him. When I talk about, do you want your family? Is that children basically live what they learn.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes because of parents' choices, our kids or your kids can grow up resenting you.
Exactly.
And sometimes you can't see the bigger picture because you're in the middle of it, but you're not seeing that the canvas that you're painting for your children is flawed. That
Absolutely.
they're not able to see the reality of what's in front of them because of your junk. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping that I was being helpful to Jay Prince to try to let him know that you really don't have to be who you are right here. You can make your content and say what you need to say without hurting those girls are hearing everything that he's saying.
Absolutely everything that you say. And the same way that you ran into Jay Prince, it's the same way I ran into him. He did a live stream about Angry Man, which I thought was funny. So we had a common enemy, Angry Man. Now, I'm not saying the Angry Man is my enemy, but you understand what I'm saying. So when he did the stream, of course, when you follow somebody, you go to the next live stream. Hey, the guy was funny. Maybe interested again. Night and day.
And he is funny.
He is funny.
He is hilarious.
No, there's absolutely. I even said that to him. So one time, Jay Prince, instead of up here being bashing black women, maybe you missed your calling of being a comedian.
Because he is funny, and I'm not going to joke about it. I did find in him but at the same time, I knew that he was in a rough place. So, and I told him I was never going to come back, but I, genuinely, I think that there's a place for, what's the word I'm looking for? And I don't think there's a place for everybody, because I think there's some people I don't find them redeemable. Like there's certain people there's no redemption for me as far as who they are.
I understand. Right. Exactly. Right.
I don't think that there's not a place for growth and maturity when it comes to Jay Prince. Okay.
But he has to want it, and I don't think he wants it.
I can't give it to him. I'm not saying because I'm not no miracle worker.
Right.
That's an internal work. But if he's going to do the work, he need to do it for those three beautiful little girls.
And that's the whole thing about it. That, to me, I see two sides of the Jay Prince followers over there. The sides that come over there for the fuckery, and the sides that come over there for a genuine concern about the children.
Right. And I think that Jay Prince has to realize that there are people, like I heard him say the other night when, I think the guy's name is Kasim. He was giving him good information and good knowledge, but he has these other people, which I have a terminology that I call people, what do you call them? There are people that don't wish you well.
Right. I understand. I know exactly what you're saying. There was definitely a term for that. They said, like the OJ said, they smile in your face, always trying to want to take your place. Them backstabbers.
Yeah, they don't. There's certain people in his ear that really don't truly wish him well.
Right, don't wish him well. And again, that to take that full circle, it's the same thing that I tried to point out to Big J. There's folks in your ear my man, that don't mean you well. Jay Prince, there's folks in your ear that understand the more, and Big J, the same thing. They expect fuckery from you when you come to their panel. So all they have to do is push the right button like this. Listen. And this is what they're going to get.
Yes, absolutely.
But like I said, Sharon, I didn't come up here
like right back to it.
I didn't like what Big J said to PhD when he started yelling at her, talking about black women should have did this. Don't tell black women what they need to do, Big J. If you really
I never said black women should do is that. You see again,
Yes,
you start you got bad comprehension skills.
Nigga,
You got
I
bad
know, and
comprehension.
you got bad.
No, let me see. You cut me off as I was talking. When I was talking to PhD, you were talking as I was talking. I was answering to PhD. You came up in here.
But you got a fucking problem with talking, though, Negro.
Goddamn. All right, so hold on. So Jay, now you got you got the opportunity. Please let Corey get at least a minute and a half and explain why Big J is full of shit. Go ahead, Corey. You got a minute and a half to explain why Big J is full of shit, and then Big J is going to get the same minute and a half to respond. Go ahead, Corey.
I'm trying to get to Corey's part here. We're going to wind this down here, Prism. I was trying to take this to 2 hours, but
I know we're not.
I can tell you, I'm not full of no drama. That's what I'm saying. That made
yeah,
on me.
there's a whole lot more to cover here. So
I think you got his audio back. Go ahead, Corey. You good? You got y'all to speak again, Corey? All right, so he got to get his sound together. Okay, so
you know what? Every time I talk, why is it every time I talk, somebody got to interrupt? No, what I was trying to tell PhD, but trying to give PhD an example.
Don't tell me nothing. No, don't tell me nothing.
No, because the thing is,
but they channel still up, you fucking fake ass nigga.
That's right.
Who is you?
That's
okay, hold on. So now, James,
I'm talking to you, bitch,
give him a chance.
I bet you want to
Who is you?
in real life.
Hold on, Jay. Let's try to give him a chance. You got a minute and a half. Go ahead, Corey. Explain why Big J's full of shit. Go ahead, Corey.
Because all the channels that he said he gonna take it down, they channels is still up, and he still engaging with them.
Okay, you good right there, Corey?
I can no longer flag.
Okay. I rebooked a little bit, so let me try to back that up again. So we can try to see if we can hear that again.
No. You have to get him deleted. Now, if you was really bad.
Hold on, Jay. Let's try to give him a chance. You got a minute and a half. Go ahead, Corey. Explain why Big J's full of shit. Go ahead, Corey.
Because all the channels that he said he gonna take it down, they channels is still up, and he still engaging with them.
And that's it right there, Big J.
I can't
right there.
flag.
Sweet. Let me pause this. Sweet, concise, and to the point. All the channels, Big J, that you say that you were trying to take down, none of your takedown attempts have been successful. All the channels that you say that you're trying to take down, the very same people that are in your circle, so-called trying to help you take these channels down, are regular contributors to the channel. Of the very same channels that you say you're trying to take down. For 10 years, believe me, if I had the power and the ability other than to strike someone's channel, to point out someone's channel that I thought did some fuckery, I would. And I have, and I will continue to. I think behind the scenes, Prism, I asked you a question that was quite poignant about the Central Park 5. You remember that conversation?
I do.
Right. So I got plans for that. That's why I was poignant about asking the question to make sure that what I was thinking about doing, I was right about. Big J, someone struck your channel because they didn't agree with you. Personal. I'm going to strike this man's channel. I'm going to send the powers that be the clip of what he said and let it go from there. But I can't take down that channel. No matter how much I want it gone. If the proof that I put there in front of the YouTube God says that there's nothing wrong with what he said, guess what? Channel's still going to be there. So Big J, my thing to you is you ain't done enough work yet. the channel that you said that you were going to take down, is it still around, Prism?
Which channel? The channel that I said I was going to take down?
Yeah, the channel that says not that you was going to take down, but what's his name? I'm trying to not to. Is it still around?
No, every channel that I said that I was going to get rid of, it had a reason for me to get rid of those channels.
My point exactly.
And if I tell you, usually I'm not going to tell you. Let me say this: I don't even have to even engage with you. If I decide that I don't like your content, and I feel like it's against the rules and stuff, and it's harmful and it's dangerous, then I'm going to let them know what's going on.
Right, and that's my point, Big J. The
same. I'm not after
right.
Everybody. So
right, the same way. Right, she's not after everybody, and I'm not after everybody. But if you say something so egregious, Big J, in 10 years, and you haven't shown anything other than arguing with folks, then you got to say the original reason of this argument, because somebody heard you say something disparaging about women, and they also said that you tried to take credit for something that 10 years of you being on the streams said that you haven't done. That rounded about right there. Prism?
Yeah, I don't think Big J has any intention of after what I saw today with him over on another platform, I don't think Big J loves drama. I did not want to believe that this is what he does. He throws rocks and hides his hand. Big J loves drama. He's over there talking about, I hope that Sharon's channel gets taken down. Sharon is not going to lose his channel. He's not doing anything.
Again, what about that? Before we close up here, we're getting closing up here pretty soon. So before and Big J, just let me say this: I only played snippets of the clips that I took from over there. Am I going to hold on to them? Yes, I'm going to hold on to them. Why? It's because I expect a response from you. I didn't play the clip that I originally started out with. I just pointed out to you I just wanted to point out to you, Big J, how other people perceive you, how you go into these different panels screaming and yelling at the top of your lung because somebody doesn't agree with you, how some of your mannerisms and some of your talking points and some of the things you say align directly with the red pill and the manosphere. I don't have anything personal against you, Big J. I don't. So I hope you don't take it personal. But just as I say, I call it straight down the middle. Sometimes you're on the other side.
I have something against Big J now. It's not going to affect this channel because I want 912 to continue being angry.
Right.
So, but I will say this. I will say this. I don't care whatever happens in this situation with Big J. I don't want anything these people were up there talking about I bought Big J 3 cups of coffee like I was trying to control his channel. I never even came over to Big J's channel that much. I don't even care anything about Big J. What Big J doesn't realize is like these people think that I need a strike team. I really never needed a strike team. I never really needed it. I just believe in doing things appropriately. The appropriate process for people who are content creators is if you got a problem, you hit that report button. But I never took advantage of my access. But now, because I see that we have people in this space that do not understand that there's a line of boundaries, and because I know the policy better than most people, that I can find it probably in 5 seconds to find out what you violated, because I've read the policy front to back and back to front. There are certain people in this space that I do have an issue with, and I am after them, and there's no bones about it. And May is one of them.
Okay, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for me, I'm one and done with this, Big J. But again, listen, be careful when you poke a sleeping bear. That's all I can say about that. Again, It's obvious from the research that I've done, Prism,
Yes,
that you've
sir.
had enough.
I have.
And again, I don't, how we met and what I asked you to do for me does not coincide with what we're talking about now.
No, sir, it doesn't.
So just the same way, Big J, I saw something that I felt the need to react to, just as I felt the need to react to some of Angry Man's bullshit, some of BGS's bullshit, MOT's bullshit. The same way I'm going to react to your bullshit. So I know what you're going to do is you're going to go try and call me out and say, Mr. DJ Music is caping for these women. Well, close your ears for a minute there, Prism. Not unless I got a one of them tallywhackers that can reach from way across the world, or not unless I'm so right now. I'm just this so smooth and suave de boner kind of guy that every woman that comes up on this panel is gonna send me booty pictures and drop her jaws behind the stage. That don't happen, bro. Not here, because I'm not going to change who I am, and this is why I have to get off the bandwagon with you, because changing, dealing with you, I would have to change who I am. I can't do that. I've given you too many passes of hearing you scream at too many women and say, "Oh, that's just Big J. That's who he is." No, can't allow it. Cannot allow it. And if you go after the right folks, if you start arguing with these men the right way, I'm on your side. But I'm not going to be up here. I'm not going to be on the team on the team of defamation that y'all want to be, because I've heard you. I heard you this morning. I heard you yesterday. I heard you last week. And the ultimate thing is you've never heard me say I'm going to try and take someone's channel. But I heard you say that several times this morning, last night, and today. What Sharon did to you, I don't think it has really anything to do with Sharon. I really think it's all about Brownsville and the amount of, dare I say, Big J, the amount of success that's over there, the amount of women that's over there. That's where I go. Shit, they got girls there. I can't blame you for that. That's why they see me everywhere. They got girls there. You don't see me in no men's chat, do you? Nope. They got girls there. You don't see me in Angry Man's chat, do you? Nope. Because when I'm there, guess what I'm doing? I'm recording his fuckery. You don't see me in BGS's chat, do you? Nope. Because what I'm doing there, I'm recording his fuckery. You don't see me in MOT's chat. What I'm doing there, recording his fuckery. But you, Big J, every place I see you, man, you're in an open argument, screaming at the top of your lungs, usually at a woman. And then you go back to your channel and do a 30, 45, 50-minute stream of some of it's funny. And I got to draw the line, bro. I'm gonna do that. What's that congressman's name? When he said about Trump, when he called, I can't do it no more. This is where I draw the line. I got to back up. Lindsey Graham. So I can't do it no more with you, bro. Like you said, if you don't like this, I'm not going to unsubscribe from you. But I'm just not going to take you, as you said, just like you don't take the black women serious, I can't take you serious. Prism, you want to close out with anything?
No, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak without a whole bunch of arguing and yelling and screaming, because I am literally sick and tired of the people in this space.
Yes.
I am Mr. DJ Music. I'm literally sick and tired, which is why I am moving my email to another email. It's almost completed. I have another channel started. It will not be Prism. No one will know where that channel is. If they need me to pop out, I will pop out of Prism on the StreamYard. Other than that, whatever I do from here on out, you're just gonna have to sit around and wonder what I'm doing. You're gonna be nervous, and I might even get quiet for a long time. And you think you're gonna be comfortable, and you think you're gonna create all these channels, but I've already told you before, you're in the belly of the whale, and you're gonna drown. That's Google.
Yikes. Well, there, ladies and gentlemen, that's from the voice of Prism. The reason why I named this title, what did I put? What did the placard say? I forgot just that quick.
The loose ninja roundup, the prism effect.
No, the actual the place card. The thumbnail. What did I say? Prism, the prism effect.
The prism effect. Mm-hmm.
That's what this is, folks. The prism effect. Because over there, Prism, I felt you wasn't getting a fair shake. There was too many people trying to talk. That's why I brought you over here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, for those of you that want to, Big J, if you want to continue to have this conversation, we can set up a date and a time, because what I recorded, Big J, I didn't use. I didn't need to. I used some of it, but I didn't need to use all of it. I still got a whole 51 minutes of you getting your ass toe up over there in Sharon's panel. Should I pull it out? Should I do a loose nigga roundup? Another one? It's up to you. It's winter time now, folks. And for all you folks that know, I'm by trade, I'm a landscaper. Ain't no grass to be cut. And the leaves just about gone. So I got nothing but fucking time. All right? The internet holds up. There'll be a whole lot more loose nigga roundups. Coming up next, Angry Man, Jay Prince, Angry Man. So the Central Park 5 weren't exonerated, huh? Stupid ass. And one more guy. Right, stupid ass. Stupid ass. One more guy I need to speak to. Either man, if you ever peek your head in my door, you don't want to fuck with me, bro. You're not ready for me. You are not ready for me, E the man. Whatever you want to fucking call yourself. And I'm going to say this to everybody else. Don't fucking play with my name. If you can't address me with what say, if you act like, I can understand why you might mispronounce it, but how hard is it to pronounce once you hear music? How hard is it to pronounce it from then on? Eat man. You next. No, you ain't next, but you coming up. I done got some clips on you next. After I'm done with Angry Man and Jay Prince, you, sir, will be on an episode of the Loose Nigga Roundup. You fucked with the wrong bear. You fat, you're out of shape, you don't know what you're talking about. You get on that panel and you try to do push-ups. Doing girl push-ups on top of that. Bitch ass nigga. But anyway, folks, I got to get on up out of here. Again, Prism, thank you so very much for allowing being up on my platform.
Thank you.
Again, folks, if you better have a good reason to try and to flag me. Better have a good reason, because if you think Prism is dangerous, you ain't see nothing yet. I warned y'all a couple weeks ago after the election. Loose nigga roundup abound, because it's obvious when I do content of any substance, some niggas don't want to hear that. I put some fuckery in the title. I put some Big J in the title. Or I put some ain't shitness in the title. You come out in drones. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll do some ain't shitness. My other content y'all can find. You can find it if you want to look for it. We out. Y'all be cool.
Good night.